a significant trade agreement, which officials are calling historic.
The deal was announced following weeks of negotiations and is being hailed as a boost for both economies.
President Trump has nominated Dr. Casey Means, a wellness influencer and Stanford-trained physician, as the new U.S. Surgeon General.
This announcement came after the withdrawal of the previous nominee, Dr. Jeanette Nishiwat, just days before her scheduled confirmation hearing.
The House of Representatives has passed a bill that would officially rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Proponents of the measure say the change promotes pride in the country. The bill's passage in the House marks a step forward for this initiative. However, the legislation would still need to pass the Senate and be signed by the president to become law.
A judge has declared a mistrial in the case of a Michigan police officer charged with second-degree murder in the fatal shooting of Patrick Lyoya.
The jury was unable to reach a unanimous verdict after deliberations.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
We're having issues over here.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
We got a cup of coffee in here, please.
I don't know. I'm not going to get coffee.
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Not really. He's doing things.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know about laughing. What the hell's going on around here? I don't know. What the hell is going on around here? My butt not working? Hey, PD, you hear me? Put your hands up. What the fuck? Why? Why do you hear me? No, I don't know. No, that's not what I meant to say. Good morning. Well, this is what I meant to say. I don't know what the hell's going on around here. People on the radio are going to be very angry with me, and they get angry quicker than the people on video for some reason. But there's a problem with the radio. It's either overmodulating or blowing up. I apologize. It's Friday morning. Doesn't feel like a Friday to me. We got through this week, sort of. We probably have 2 no-show comedians today. I'm betting on that. Today is Friday, May 9th, 2025. And I remember, it's kind of a weird thing, but I'm a kind of a weird guy. I remember where I was 47 years ago. I don't remember 48 years ago. I remember where I was 48 years ago at this moment. I was standing in a phone booth. They had phone booths 47 years ago on the corner of Oak Street and Broadway in Amityville, New York. It was cold for May. It was 28 degrees, and I was in shorts and like a, I don't know, Bermuda, whatever, a Hawaii tropical shirt. And I had just spent 24 hours traveling from South Laguna Beach in California, Orange County, California. Took the overnight, the red eye took a bus from South Laguna to LAX, spent all day traveling. A bus. It was like an 8-hour thing. It's a 2-hour drive or an hour and a half drive, but it's an 8-hour bus ride to get to the airport and then tramp through the airport and then whatever. Traveling all that time and then freezing my cojones off in a phone booth. And I had no place to go because I was not reconciled with my family at that time. I had been away for many years. And so I called my friend Bobby McKenna and said, can I come stay with you? I'm in New York. I don't know where to go. I thought I was coming here for the summer, and it's not summer here. And he couldn't come get me. So I was stuck with nowhere to go in a phone booth, freezing my balls off. So that kind of memory sticks with you. It was May 9th, 1978. Stephen was not even a sperm in development yet. So there's that. I don't know why that memory sticks with me. We have a new pope, Chicago Pope, the Pope of Chicago. Why Chicago? That's all I got to say. Why Chicago? You could have. Isn't there a good cardinal in New York? I don't know. I got to get the sound working over here. So I'm going to cut this nonsense a little bit short. Show's over. Thanks for coming. Today we have. I'm kidding. We are scheduled. Marco Giorgio. Marco Giorgio. Sounds like a perfume name or something. Marco Giorgio is, he calls himself the last Italian comedian, I think. Last Italian comic, not comedian. What's the difference between a comic and a comedian? Well, one has a book, comic book. And then in the second hour, Roy Lee Johnson. Roy Lee, what the hell's Roy Lee's last name? Doesn't say. I think it's Roy Lee Johnson. He's the outlaw drifting comic. The outlaw drifting comic. What is this? Is it happy trails to you? I don't know. But his big claim to fame is he beat Doug Stanhope in the celebrity death pool, which is kind of interesting. So they're both scheduled here, 9:15 and 10:15 respectively. If any of them show up, it will be a miracle, because if you followed this week, that's how it goes. Nobody's showing up. Nobody's showing up to your dopey little radio show. Nobody cares, which is why you need this.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
No, you know what? There is no link below the video. The link, yeah, I guess there is a link in the sponsor. Anyway, in the room with me now are the Stephen, do not call me a pedophile, whatever his last name is, and gracing us with his Friday appearance, the man from my friend called Puxatani Ron. Ron Kane is with us, and a man who was just like playing with his hair or something. GD Henderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you finding it hard to get out of the bed in the mornings?
Yeah.
Sleep on the floor. MindDogTV.com. The place to go for practical solutions to practical problems.
Are we selling that?
Yeah, it's a book.
Book is a very short book. Sleep on the Floor by
No,
GD Henderson.
It's a book about practical solutions to impractical problems.
Very nice. It's one line. Sleep on the Floor.
Practical solutions.
1995
yes.
for the hardcover, and 1995 for the softcover, and 1995 for the ebook.
Right.
Anyway, you guys excited about the new pope?
I'm disappointed because I think the Vatican, I think they just did that so that they wouldn't get a tariff from Trump.
This seemed very political.
Right. Yeah, it's very political. They're just trying to avoid getting a tariff from Trump. That way, the Pope's prayers won't be tariffed when they come across the ocean. When he sends his blessings over here, there won't be like a 10% tariff that the Catholics have to pay to receive the Pope's blessings. He also
wanted to avoid tariffs on importing and exporting children. That was a big expense that they wanted to avoid.
And that hurts your business, doesn't it?
I'm not in that business. Thank you for asking, though.
Okay, I just thought maybe I'd clear that up for me. I gave you the opportunity to clear that up. And Ron, are you? I know you're a devout Catholic.
I am. I'm super excited about it. Who cares? It's just another guy that's covered up sexual abuse. Who gives a shit?
Have you personally covered up sexual abuse? I mean,
the whole Catholic Church. I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, honestly. I mean, besides the people that are really into Catholics, like I don't care. It's just so the CEO of the organizations has died and has been replaced. Is it going to change anything? No.
Basically, is what I see. And also, like, I'm just.
Steven's trying to think. Hold on. Steven is trying to think. Everybody out there,
there's white smoke. There's white smoke coming out of his
I know it's about to turn into black smoke. All of the cardinals and the archdiocese and everyone from the Midwest, including Chicago, I'm pretty confident there's been like a pretty serious sexual scandal from like northern Indiana over into northern Illinois. All these guys were included at one point.
We're gonna get into the Olympics of Catholics abusing altar boys. Long Island is by far. They're like the Mark Spitz.
I believe that
they're going to get 8 medals this Olympics of raping young boys.
Well, I think to Chicago. Well, aside from the fact that for the next 2 weeks we're going to hear Trump bragging about how this happened under his.
We've got the best pope.
Yeah,
very American.
No,
very cool.
They did that for the first 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden, they got a woke pope. Because it turns out the guy's not exactly a MAGA guy.
And so in Chicago, they're going to be intolerable because there's always been this rift between Chicago and New York about deep dish pizza and New York style pizza, which is going to be the better thing. Well, now that the Pope is from Chicago, that like puts an extra blessing on Chicago style pizza. So it's almost like Chicago's gonna be like having a microphone saying "Game over, bitches." It's Chicago style pizza and dropping the mic, and it's just gonna rekindle the feud. It's just gonna rekindle the feud, and then New York is gonna want to have their own pope, and so they're gonna probably it has to be somebody old and white. So probably Chuck Schumer is gonna be the Pope of New York.
Well, no, it's the Pope of Greenwich Village. I don't know where you get this whole New York thing. It's just Greenwich Village.
Oh,
I think the cops should.
Then it can't be Schumer. Then it can't be Schumer. Schumer cannot be the Pope of Greenwich Village.
He's Jew. You can't have a Jew as a Pope.
In New York, you can. Not like a real title.
Oh.
Cock, baby, I'm a Van Bowl.
What? Somebody whispering in my ear. I think it's Lou in the.
That was God telling you you're wrong.
I mean, the story will be gone by over the weekend because we got to start talking about gas prices because the summer holidays getting ready to start. So that's all everyone's going to be talking about.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but gas prices, I don't know if you know this about gas prices. Gas prices are down. In some states, it's at 10 cents a gallon.
Well, I know. I mean, I've been like one of the things I love to do now because eggs are so cheap. I go to the grocery store. I buy, several dozen, just throw them in the back of my car. Then, I go over to the gas station.
The White House and throw them.
Yeah. It's $1.98 a gallon. So, I haven't seen prices that low in years. Yeah, and that's why I just open up the gas and let it spill out everywhere. I'm like, look at this. This is what America is about.
Gas was $3.07 in Maryland like a couple of days ago.
3.7 cents.
No, it's $1.98. He says it's $1.98.
$3.07 in Maryland. Just a couple of
10
days ago.
cents a gallon here, and that's at the expensive place. It's like if you go to Poospatuck, it's like 3 cents a gallon.
Yeah, it's like $3.50 here, a little less than
3.5 cents a gallon, right?
Okay, when you said the dollar, I was like, when I was getting concerned because Pennsylvania never has cheaper gas than Maryland. You know, if no, yeah, in Maryland, Pennsylvania
Sounds like
used
a
to make,
Pope war. You got, but
you know, Pennsylvania used to make their own gas because they had like Quaker oil and stuff like that. You know, Pennsylvania used to make their own gas, and they still have.
The Quakers make oil?
Oh yeah, they
I thought
make
they
it out
made
of oatmeal. Well, what do you think they do with the old oatmeal? What do you think they do with the old oatmeal? It's just like the old corn and old
like ethanol?
Oil. Yeah, it's oatmeal oil. Yeah.
So here we are. It's 15 minutes. We got time now. Local time is 9:15 a.m. Eastern, and the last Italian comic must be Ron Kane, not Marco Giorgio, because he's not here.
Maybe he got whacked.
What is that? Is that a euphemism?
That's not a euphemism or an
No,
innuendo.
that's not what I said. A euphemism.
That's not a euphemism.
Is it a euphemism?
It's not a euphemism. It's not a euphemism. It is a maybe he's dead.
Oh, that's a terrible thing to wish upon him.
No, I'm not wishing that upon. No, I'm not wishing that. I'm saying
he
was
didn't
the
wish
last
it.
Italian comic, and maybe the Italian mob was like, yo, hey, hey.
So if he's dead, he's probably going to be a no-show. Okay.
Not
What about
necessarily.
Roy Lee Reynolds? You think he's going to show? Roy Lee Johnson, Roy Lee Reynolds, Roy Lee.
Why does it say saucer? Is it
Roy
gravy?
Huh?
What's his deal? What's the second hour guest deal?
He's the outlaw drifting comic, which sounds like he wants to be like a cowboy singer or something. Outlaw drifting.
Is he like a side character from the Fast and Furious?
I don't know. It could be. He's got
drifting.
In his defense, he actually gave me a link to his website where I could find out more about him. Now, all I did was go there and cut and paste. I didn't even bother reading what I posted, except the fact that I know that he beat Doug Stanhope in the Celebrity Death Pool. Now, I don't remember exactly how Celebrity Death Pool. Did you guys ever play Celebrity Death Pool?
I didn't know it was a thing until just now.
Well, it was basically an online thing, but anybody, it's like if you won, you beat everybody. It's not like Doug Stanhope happened to be playing a guy. It's not like one-on-one. Like I'm going one-on-one with Doug Stanhope. I don't know why we put that in there. Like Stanhope happened to be one of the losers. I don't know. We'll ask.
It would be funny if you cut and paste that, and then you actually go back to read it, and the first part of it starts out like, "Oh yeah, Doug Stanhope." Then it goes into his manifesto.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should read them before I.
Yeah, like all of a sudden this goes from Doug Stanhope to how the global elites and the Illuminati.
The global elites are running the Illuminati. They organized everything to make Doug Stanhope lose.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sure Matt definitely talked about this, Steven, but what you think of that trailer of GTA 6, the second one?
We haven't talked about it, but I will tell you, I am moister than an oyster. Because from what I understand, the trailer, all of the game footage was captured on a base level PS5. It wasn't captured on a big machine. Supposedly, I will say that. Supposedly captured on a base level PS5 and then some cinematic. So if any of that gameplay was accurate and on a base level PS5, we are in for a fucking.
You're talking game. Language,
but they're delaying. The release of the game for another year. So
they are releasing it for another year.
Don't they have time? And they said they're going to tweak it, so it could get better or worse. We don't know.
It could get better or worse. From what I understand, the delay has to do with the online side of it, because what they're trying to do is they're bringing us the same role-playing and in-depth features from GTA 5 on PC that the modders created, and they're bringing that to console.
Could you slow down? You're like numbing out the boomer brain here. PS5 is PlayStation 5. What is the latest model of a?
Welcome to Boomer Corner, the only corner that you can get stuck in.
Sucked in? Or sucked off?
So, base level PS5.
Base level PS5 is what's out now, or is there a
No, so the base level PS5 would have been the original PlayStation 5 that had launched, that came out at launch. That would mean it's not a PS5 Pro. It's not.
Oh,
yeah. So that means it's in standard 4K. It's not in. It doesn't have any high ray tracing, any like 140 refresh hertz rates or anything like that. It's just a base level game on a PS5. So if that's accurate,
that's what I'm asking. There's no like PS6.
No, there's no PS6. There's like a PS5 and a half.
5.5.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, supposedly though, like if what we saw was real, this game is going to be. It might be worth the $100 price tag that they're going to put on it, probably.
$100 for one game.
Well, here's the thing.
Is that $100 and you own it, or is it $100 and then you have to pay like another $50 to renew it the next year?
No. So I mean, obviously we don't. There's probably going to be some sort of subscription thing for it at some point, but no, you pay $100, you own the game. But this game in particular it's not just driving around and shooting people and stealing cars. They're putting in full mechanics for sporting events, so football, baseball, basketball, golf.
So you can shoot shoot athletes?
Yes. Airplanes, racing, I mean BMX and skateboarding. So I mean they're trying to make this game to where you can go in and do everything.
So you can have like high speed chases in blimps.
Yeah.
So how long?
You can't have a high speed chase in a blimp.
Well, it's not really a high speed chase. You can definitely do a police chase in a blimp.
No, you can have a high speed in a high.
There you go.
Yeah,
high short speed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, you can't have a high speed chase in a blimp. That's what the police would call it.
Because it would be like 10 knots, 15 knots. Maybe in a hurricane. In a hurricane, you could have a high speed chase.
What directions they going? They're no bound. They're just sitting there. I don't know what's happening.
The game looks great though. From that trailer, the game looks unbelievable.
The dynamics look good. The way the clothes move, the way the outside looks, the way the world, the environment. I mean, it's almost scary. It's almost kind of like they're building a Matrix.
Oh, well, that's not exactly what I want to ask you about. But if you think back, like when Sandy Hook was, I think that's 2014, somewhere around there. All my MAGA friends who are now MAGA friends, they are MAGA people. They're no longer friends, but the people who this was before MAGA existed, but they came out and they were blaming video games. Video games are the devil. Video games. How long before MAGA start to turn their?
Wait a minute. Wait, let's do some math first. Are those same people that are against the video games? Were they the same people in the 80s that claimed that heavy metal was all satanic?
No, they were. This is the weird part about it. They were all heavy metal heads. They were people who were into somewhere along the line. They changed from being anti-establishment and anti-establishment people to I got older now. I'm paying bills. I'm going to become a Republican, and then I'm going to follow Donald Trump wherever he goes, and then just wherever. But these, hippies from the '60s are now MAGA people. Heavy metal people from the '80s are now MAGA people. It blows my mind.
Well, that does kind of track though, because people, I've noticed that people that are very, very progressive actually skew somewhat racist. When you really start talking to them, when they go kind of really progressive, it's like, aren't you just kind of racist? I mean, they're playing this weird game, and I don't know what happens. Especially, I don't know what happens to guys. I don't know, for some reason, some guys after they get over 40, nothing new is good, and everything was good back in the olden days. It's like. With music, you see it especially in music. So
I don't. I think
human evolutionary process.
I think the answer to your question, Ron, is when guys are younger, whatever's happening in the world is still potential. They could be something or be someone. Then they reach a point where it's like, holy shit, I'm not going to be that thing I thought it was going to be. And so they get stuck in the error and when they still had potential. And that's why it's so much better back then, because back when I was younger, I still had potential. It has nothing to do with the music. It's just that was the music that they had, and it just happened to be playing the background. It was like the soundtrack for when they still had potential in their life. But once they get to the point where it's, oh, wait a minute, I'm never going to be the lead guitarist for Journey or whatever. Or I'm never going to be the lead guitarist for Boston. You know, whatever it is that happened to them, it gets
To answer your
I'm never going to be Neil Young.
To answer your question, Matt, I don't know how we got all the way over there from here, but to answer your question, they're gonna blame it right away. But here's the thing: GTA has been persona non grata for people to blame video games forever. Like as soon as that game came out, people have been blaming it because you've had kill
I don't
hookers,
think you know what
run
persona
over people.
non grata means, because I think you just do
Enemy number one. Nobody wants it.
All right, enemy
Everybody
number one. That's better than because.
Well, here's something fun. Here's something fun. The same people that are always attacking video games, most of the time they will not attack a game like Call of Duty.
Yep.
And Call of Duty is a first-person shooter, a very popular first-person shooter. And where are the cries? Is it because they're wearing camouflage and you can finally put that camouflage?
You're heroes.
Yeah.
You're killing people. You're heroes.
I was going to kind of bring that point up though, because you have many other games besides GTA that really they want you to feel like you're the person committing the things you're doing on screen. Yeah. Versus GTA, you're clearly playing a story. There's a narrative, but when you're playing some of these games like Call of Duty or Rainbow Six, and they're encouraging you to put on the gear and join the military.
Simulators.
Yeah, they're simulators. They call them combat simulators for a reason. GTA is not a simulator. It is a video game. But some of these war games are simulators, and they want you to fall in love with it. So if anything, I would blame those games first.
Well, I'm coming out with my own simulator game called Smell of Duty, and it's
that joke's not 30 years old.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never heard it before, actually.
But I'm very surprised that the game Manhunt has not been remade.
Oh, is that what is that? The thing where on a Republican convention, Manhunt?
No, they're using the Mike
Manhunt was back in the day. It was an Xbox game, and the premise was you are on this game show where you're being hunted by police and stuff, but part of the game is you have to kill people along the way and things like that.
Yeah.
Well,
that right there.
The Republican convention took down the gay site because that's what it sounds like. Manhunt.
Well, yes, but that game though, if that game was remade today, I could see someone like Mr. Beast turning it into some sort of challenge game. But that's what I'm talking about. It's those games like that that really, in my opinion, would influence a kid way more than something like GTA would.
All right. But so you think MAGA will eventually get back to, because they dropped that for a while, but that.
Well, I mean, if this game is as realistic as it's supposed to be, it might cause some problems because GTA 5 caused some issues with the strip clubs and some of the murder scenes, and so we'll see.
But the other thing about GTA, it doesn't force you to do that. You make those decisions on your own.
Yeah,
I wasn't even going to buy GTA, but then a guy came in my room last night at gunpoint and said, "You're going to buy GTA. You're going to buy, a PS5 .362 Pro, and you're going to do this, when it comes out."
That sounds like Rockstar marketing.
No, I didn't know they were opening up a Walmart near you, but
basically,
you better get here.
Yeah. Well, no, there is a Walmart near me. I just haven't been in it.
There's a Walmart near you, everybody, at all times.
I know, everywhere, all the time.
There's a Walmart.
McDonald's. Actually, McDonald's is I think just most of the population lives within a 5-mile radius or less of the McDonald's.
My town has one.
McDonald's, but they're gonna. I'm not. And it doesn't have to be McDonald's, but once GTA come out, are they talking about making Happy Meal toys, so to speak? I'm just saying Happy Meal because that's the one brand that has the toy. But Burger King used to have toys.
Well, it's not aimed at kids, but I could definitely see them doing an adult Happy Meal like they did with Minecraft.
But like the game Red Dead Redemption 2, that is basically GTA set in the Western time.
And that one's super fucking fun to play.
Yes, you can do wild shit to people.
That game, you can go into that game and be completely a good guy. Like I started in that game just like being a researcher and researching animals and shit. But then I met a guy who would pay me to skin the animals instead. So I started killing the animals and skinning them. And then that got boring. So then I became a bounty hunter. And then it's awesome, dude. You can ride horses.
That definitely sounds very Jeffrey.
You see how excited he was getting? Like,
yeah.
He was ready to play
because you get to be a cowboy in the old wild west.
But that's not what being a cowboy was like back then. Believe me. Well, enough for my people. Okay, enough for my people.
Wild West. That's,
well, when I was growing up, there is a shooter style game which had a gun and it was called Chiller, and it only had 3 levels. And the whole point of the game was you had this gun, and so the one level was a torture chamber, and you would shoot people that are chained to the wall. You'd shoot them in the head. You'd shoot their hands. You get extra points for that. Or there's like a guillotine. You'd shoot that so you could chop off heads.
But how dare you pretend to be a cowboy? How dare you pretend to be a cowboy?
That almost sounds like somebody took Saw 4 and made it into a video game.
I think that was before Saw.
Yeah, that was the 80s. It was fucking wild.
Wow.
And I never even heard of that game.
Yeah, Turok was terrible too. It was a game about shooting dinosaurs, and dinosaurs need protected.
Yeah, and that's why they're extinct now.
About shooting dinosaurs?
That's why they're extinct now. That's exactly what happened to them. It wasn't a meteorite. It was a bunch of Colt 45s and
a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah,
a bunch of rednecks with 30-06s going. We're gonna get us some dinner.
And Ford 150s with gun racks.
Funny clip. This not that funny. Not like ha, that's so fucking funny. It's just kind of a amusing thing. Sean Duffy, who's got Buttigieg's old job. He said he was talking about. For some reason, he brought up Duran Duran. He said when Duran Duran was making music back in the 60s and 70s, like, wait a minute, dude.
No.
What was it? 60s and 70s. I'm sure Simon Lavon.
I think he means in their 60s and 70s because that's about how old they are now.
Yeah, I was like, no, you're talking Beatles and Stones, dude. You're not Duran Duran's 80s and 90s, early 90s, and then they were done. But to even go there and the era of heavy metal music, and then he's like, Duran Duran is his thing. What is this? This is like
Chiller?
Ancient video game.
Yeah, that's Chiller. That's what like the levels of Chiller look like. So like
that
those hands.
Like go to 7-Eleven at 2:00 in the morning and put your quarter in like the little in the corner while you're waiting.
Yeah, but this one was more expensive. It was like 50 cents to play. But like these hands, this is just the one. The hands would come up out. You shoot the hands and things like that.
Oh yeah, see, that's more my speed, I think. I'm still working on Space Invaders.
Yeah, but just to come out and say video games are violent, like I don't even think that argument even holds up anymore, considering how big the video game market is now and how many people do play games, whether it be on a console, PC, on your phone, with your neighbor that's tied up in a basement. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and games don't even have to be violent. Like for example, like I play Flight Sim. It's a full-on flight simulator with 100% scale airplanes in the planet. Like there's nothing you can do bad on. I mean, yeah, sure you can fly into buildings, but you're just gonna bounce off. Like there's nothing violent about it.
I play like Mahjong, where you have these tiles. And these tiles have these little characters on them, and when you match the tiles, somebody comes in and rapes the doll. That's I don't know.
I play Solitaire. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Or there's a new game they just came out with about 45 years ago, Free Cell, which I'm still.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know how to play that.
Isn't Monopoly Go a violent video game? Because people aren't paying attention, and if you're driving in your car, you run over a few people. Should we ban Monopoly Go?
And Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not. I'm a boomer. I don't know about anything.
So,
Yeah,
Stephen,
like for me, I like to smoke. Then sometimes I'll go play rocket racing. It's a fun time.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. Sometimes I smoke and play Rocket League, or I'll play,
Boomer identifying myself yet again. I love that Paula Abdullah video with the cat, and the cat's my favorite line is that the cat, I love to smoke. I was like, that's cool. I like that. I like that cat. Anyway,
yeah,
that's me.
And with most of the video games, you can do drugs in most of the games now. So you can smoke weed and you can drink and drive. It's fabulous.
In the game, but that's weird. Like, you're not really getting high for.
See, in the game, it makes it not a fun thing. That it doesn't make it seem like you want to do that in real life, because you get drunk in the game, you try to drive, you're all over the place.
Yeah, the screen starts wobbling and changing different colors.
Your guy trips over shit.
And especially in GTA 5, there is part of the storyline is the guy does some PCP or some shit like that, and you find yourself
laced weed.
Yeah, being picked up by a UFO, then being dropped out of it, and doing this.
Did you have to kill aliens?
Who hasn't done that in real life? Stephen, what's going on? You're sending me all these people on Facebook, because all these people who are friend requesting me, they have you as their top.
I didn't post or send anyone anywhere, so I don't know what's happening.
I think what happened is Steven posted a picture of his base on Facebook.
He tagged me in his little thing last night with the base thing, right?
Right, and you were the first person to respond, I think. I think you said something like, yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like,
I gotta say, you got some ugly dude friends. I mean, don't you have any hot chick friends? Come on.
Dude.
All your friends are ugly dudes.
Well, I'm dating one. Lizzie Ann will be here.
Oh, come on.
That's what I call schlong.
AI does not count dating.
She's not AI. I'll send you a picture when I get there tonight.
How about a fucking piece of flesh?
Oh my God. Speaking of AI, did you see that court case where they used AI so the victim could testify?
Fucking what?
Yes.
How the fuck is that legal?
There, look it up. There is a murder case, a murder trial, and they presented the victim using AI. It's wild. So that the victim could talk about how he was and things like that.
Okay, so what did they do? Like upload all of his social media, text messages? Like
I don't know, but look that story up. That's definitely like something that's coming down the pike for sure. But I think it's the first time ever that it's been used in this. And they have video. They have a TV. And they did video reconstruction, so it's like he's in the courtroom. It is.
I wonder if that verdict will be challenged.
Yeah, that's someone.
It would have to be, right? I mean, if all of the testimony is based on a computer program, that can't be. That's no different than like a lie detector test, right?
I think it's not like it's the AI. It's not like, hey, I'm doing. This is what happened to me. I think the AI just is supposed to paint a picture of what that person was and the type of person that person was, so the jury gets an idea instead of like just presenting like, well, this person blah 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 did this. You can now collect all that and say, this is what this person was.
This is who they were. There is a old boomer technology that would actually serve that well, and it's just like people are on video now. Everybody's got a video of themselves. You can put together a montage of their selfie videos and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's an interesting use of AI. Now, somebody like GD who hates AI completely and wants to kill AI, wants to murder AI, he will be rejecting that like completely. That's AI. I hate it.
Here is a picture of the victim.
No. He wants to date.
No, you guys go ahead. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I just want you guys to, and this is not like the other one, Matt. Believe this is decent. You guys talk. I just want to show you that it's awful. It's awful. It's fucking awful.
What's awful about it?
You have to see it for yourself. You have to see it for yourself.
I'm looking at it. What's awful?
You're not looking at what I'm looking at, or you know how awful it is.
You show me AI image.
No, this is Ron showing us this.
Oh,
yeah. This is the guy. This is the image and video they used of the guy that was the victim.
That's the victim. It looks more like the perp.
Yeah, he was killed in a road rage incident, and so they used AI to reconstruct it. And
basically, what you're saying is GTA was responsible for his death.
Now, what I'm saying is that this is probably going to be the future for sure. Because why not? If you bring someone in, why wouldn't they use this for like a case involving children? I mean, think if you just had AI of that kid talking, how look, I'm a little boy and I'm doing this, that would fuck people up. That would really fuck people up.
And you'd get the little kids on the stand and say, I had sex with Stephen Ortiz. I'm just imagining how it would go.
It's weird that you're imagining that, you sick fuck.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I was trying to read this. This is what I was okay. I wasn't when I got through the first four words. I wasn't even sure this was English anymore. It says
it's kind of half English, half German, right? It's
Chris Pelkey been die inside road Casala shooting for Arizona 3 years ago, but with D help of artificial intelligence, E returned earlier this month for killer sentencing to deliver victim statement himself.
He delivered a victim statement. He didn't testify.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Family members say them use D technology to let Mr. Pelkey use own words to talk about the incident.
All right, do you want to see the video?
Yeah, let's do that. This is giving me a stroke.
Pornographic because GD's been showing us some porn videos lately, and porn images, and
he's been trying to take your place, Ron, as the local gross expert.
All right, so this is like,
Wait, he's gonna sing "Rich Man" from North of Richmond.
I am a version of Chris Pelkey recreated through AI that uses my picture and my voice profile. I was able to be digitally regenerated to share with you today. But here is insight into who I actually was in real life. Take a look.
All right, I'm Chris Pelkey. I served with the United States Army.
So and it goes on like that.
All right, that original thing made me want to road rage him myself.
Oh my god!
Well, he started talking like a robot. Come on. But then when they show him with his buddy there, that was more human. They should cut out that.
Yeah, the second one was the actual footage. The first one was AI. The second part was actual footage.
As this goes on, that stuff, the technology is just going to get better. Then eventually, I guess eventually they'll have like those hologram boxes, which work where you can do those, and they'll be able to put people in 3 dimensions and shit like that.
Wow.
And then
I just wanted flying cars.
Then you'd be able to smell the jury. You'd be able to smell them. Like,
I just wanted flying cars and dehydrated foods.
There's flying cars now, right? Did you see that one that it's like a helicopter, but it's got
they've had flying cars since.
I mean, like the Jetsons. I don't mean like the bullshit.
We
I don't want no half car, half airplane bullshit.
We can't. Humans can barely handle cars as it is, and you'd have fucking people flying in the houses and shit all the time.
Air rage. It will be air rage.
Yeah, like someone gets pissed off, and instead of driving into a tree to kill themselves, they fly into a school. Yeah, no thanks.
Okay, you guys are just like boomers. Like you're like I don't know, premature boomer.
No, that's not boomer. That's just knowing humans in general. We can't handle something.
That's why not every person can get a pilot's license.
It's still get off my lawn boomerism. Get off my lawn.
That's why we can't have nice things. That's why we can't have nice things.
Goddamn kids flying over my house at 9 p.m.
Exactly.
I can see these morons. Don't fly in text. Don't fly in text.
Are you getting Road Dome? Because I'm getting Sky Dome.
Yeah. So Father Guido Sarducci is now the new pope, and
I saw him. He made an appearance on the Colbert Show night before last.
Really? So he is still alive? Because we
Yeah,
were
he's
trying to look
still
him up.
alive. Yeah, he's still alive, and he's still just
He's
father.
probably dying to get some. Well, I guess he was on Colbert, so he's not that desperate. I was gonna say we could probably get him on this program if he's still alive, but maybe not. Colbert's
Well,
getting him.
he was on Colbert. He was pretty funny, and then he did some stuff that Colbert stole. His writer stole some of his bit the next day. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. See, and the thing is, here's the thing. This is the problem. I don't see now. I'll say it. Okay.
Is it the thing or the deal? Hold on. You say you said here's the thing. Is it the thing or the deal?
Well, the deal is more definite. The thing is I've seen enough to convince me. This is like quite a few years ago, when I used to post stuff on a regular basis on YouTube and stuff. I would post something, and within a day or two, the same premise and jokes would show up on Colbert. Now I know Stephen Colbert does not write his material; he has writers, and so at first my wife noticed it first. She goes, "Didn't you just do that?" And I went, "Yeah, but I don't think they're stealing from me. I'm a nobody." And then I did something that was so unique and so different, that it showed up there. I said, "Okay, now I'm convinced," because it was way too coincidental. You didn't come up with something that complicated and that convoluted with that many moving pieces.
To be clear, what we're hearing here, I just want to be clear for litigation purposes, and don't come after me. I'm not making this assertion. GD is accusing Stephen Colbert's writers, his staff, of going to GD Fenderson's YouTube channel to get their material. And
at least one, and this was years ago, because I stopped putting that kind of stuff out there. The stuff that's out there now is like almost personal stories that if you steal that, then you need a real life so you can steal from your own life. But the other stuff is like topical things, like in topical news stuff, and it was just popping up. And then I did something that was had so many moving parts, you couldn't accidentally come up with it in the same order, and they did.
Reminds me of the time, like 1964. I was just playing around with my guitar, and I came up with "She Loves You," yeah.
No, this is nothing like that.
On Ed Sullivan.
This is nothing like that. This is actually real. This is nothing like that, Matt.
Well, when I watched Bill Burr's new special, there were two jokes where I had almost the exact same premise. So I realized that Bill Burr came to the Mr. Tongue Comedy Showcase Monday nights at HMAC and started stealing my material.
Well, a comic friend of mine broke her leg and is in a wheelchair, and she's trying to steal my material. So
she's trying to steal your thunder.
I know, my whole fucking shtick, man.
Yeah,
that would be cool though. You roll up to her, push her over, get your own chair.
There could only be one.
Yeah, I saw a rock imitating you, a big boulder on the side of the road. He's doing his best Stephen Ortiz imitation. So.
Wow, because I saw this weird twink guy sucking off another dude, and he looked just like you. So weird, right?
Oh, those are fighting words.
I know.
They had a sense.
Yeah, to say another guy looked like Matt. Those are fighting words.
Not nearly as big of a fight as you putting your face in his ass and fighting for air.
Hold on a second.
Love you.
I gotta respond to this right now by calling the guy's mother a skank whore. Should I? Nah, not right now.
Probably.
I'll put it off later after the show. All right. So
she does have terrible facial hair. It's kind of scary. She's got mutton chops.
Mutton chop. Yep. Like who was the guy? The pitcher who had mutton chops. Was that Raleigh Fingers? I don't know. Raleigh Fingers. You know what I'm talking about.
I got blisters on me fingers.
Yeah.
I do actually have my middle finger.
Who's the guy? Bill Maher. Stanhope had caught him basically, and again, this is staff writers, but verbatim, a 2-minute piece that Bill Maher was reading on his dopey little show there in a monologue was definitely taken from one of Stanhope's specials. I mean, there was no doubt about it because it was almost word for word 2 minutes long of changing they to them or something like that. But
well, I don't know if you remember in the 90s, Dennis Leary got tagged with like stealing Bill Hicks material.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah,
a lot of
really?
it.
I recently submitted a video to a booker a booker comedian, a comedian who's also a booker. I submitted a video so I could get on one of their shows, and within a week later, they're doing my material on TikTok.
That's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah. As TikTok shorts.
Well, at one point with the Hicks and Leary thing, Leary was bold enough to accuse Hicks of stealing his material, and Hicks was on, I think it was Paul Provenza's late night show, that Comics Only or whatever it was called, and he said, I'm so good, I stole it 10 years before he ever did it. Because there were tapes of that material 10 years old, 10 years before Leary ever did it. But like, he stole a complete act.
GD, why don't you call out that booker?
But do we know if do you know if it's like a complete theft? Because the only reason I say that, I mean, yeah, a lot of the material is similar and like even somewhat performance, but throughout entertainment, there are comics that kind of like mimic each other and are just like slight variants of each other, even I have the same cadence and everything like that.
Now, I was at I was featuring at a club, and my wife was with me, and the host was doing same topical jokes that I would do. I mean, in other words, I had the same material. He and I, because topical means it just happened in the news. So he and I were talking about the same things in the news, and since he and I were both the same age, we had the same historical references. So my wife was going, she goes, "Well, are you going to be able to do that now?" I said, "Well, I have two choices." I said, I'm not going to be mad because I understand that he and I have the same historical references. So it makes sense for him to wind up at that place based on the news. So I'm just going to skip over it.
Common premises and those kind of things, those happen. But the Leary and Hicks stuff is unmistakable, direct. There's several videos done on this where they go bit by bit, like a sentence that Hicks says, and then Leary says the exact same sentence, and we'll go back and forth, and it goes on for the entire act. So much so that Leary even recognized that he better come out and accuse Hicks of stealing his material. It was that similar. I mean, that it's not just common premises. Then it's just like word for word joke theft, and like the Dane Cook thing with Louis C.K. He eventually had to come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's always. I mean, you have there's the Leary stuff that's always been talked about.
Mencia stuff.
Mencia, Schumer pops up too, and like some of it, you don't even know if it's true or it's just bullshit that people are starting. But that it's tough. It is really tough.
No, I agree. Can be cases of absolutely whatever
right out theft. Yes.
Yeah. But Mencia with that Cosby stuff. I mean, and he just denies ever seeing the piece. But how do you come exactly that close and then have the exact same punchline delivered? With this, I'm talking about
the same cadence and tone and everything.
Yeah.
This holding a pudding pop. No.
Yeah.
Came out in an ugly sweater and
putting on blackface.
Pudding pops. Okay. I think I guess. Oh, well, it's not. I thought it was later than it is. Weird. Oops.
Than you think.
How wild would it be if a white comic emerged today and he's just doing Richard Pryor bits? I mean, completely just outright stealing them. Like getting on stage and just delivering it like he did, right?
I wonder how long it would take people to catch on.
I'm not going to say it because they're a friend of the show, so I'm not saying it. But there has been a white comic who did do jokes from other black comics from the 60s and 50s.
Are you talking about Jackie?
Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Matt, that is wrong. That's so fucking wrong.
Those are not jokes from black comics from the 50s and 60s. Those are jokes from joke books from the 1850s.
I first of all, I didn't say that. You said that, and I was thinking of someone else. And because I'm not
You
that
have
kind of guy.
made that accusation about Jackie before.
Oh yeah, yes, and I said it to him. Yeah.
No,
I
but
did.
they weren't like Red Fox jokes. Red Fox was taking them from the same joke book that Jackie's grandfather got them from. Those predate comedy. Comedy being a thing. All those jokes, they were not like, oh, black jokes. No, they're not black jokes. They're old
But
jokes.
yeah,
Very,
think how
very
much
old.
stealing was going on back in those days when you really couldn't hold people accountable because you'd have to see it on the road.
Yeah.
You'd have to see it happen in front of you because it's not like it's on the net or anything like that.
The internet wasn't just pushing all that stuff out there. Absolutely.
Milton
Berle was called out for it in the 50s big time. Like that, it was kind of a running joke that Milton Berle was the joke thief. And then everybody stole the running joke about Milton Berle being a joke thief.
There were two comedians. There was an open mic I used to attend, and there was these two comedians that would take my premises, and the next week would be copying my stuff. But the premises, not the actual jokes, because my jokes, I don't do jokes, I do short stories. But the premises are unique, generally speaking. And they would just copy the premises and just do it. And right before my very eyes, because I'd be at their open mic the next week and they'd be doing it.
So even coming back right
right in front of me. And I'd say to him, I said, that was my premise. That you got that from me last week. I've been doing that for like 2 years, right? You just copped it from me.
Jeez.
I don't think anybody can own a premise. You can't own.
I'm just saying that's why I don't say they steal. I'm just they copped it.
Yeah, but you're saying you realize that's my premise. It's like
it was my premise. Yeah.
You don't own a premise.
I did. I did own it. You don't know what I own. You're not in my house.
I do know what you own.
You don't know
what can you legally prove that you own?
What can I legally prove I own? Right here.
Let me see your documentation that you own.
I got this DNA sample right here.
All right, hey, you guys are getting agitated. Is it time for your medicine? It is almost 10. Is it time for your medicine? You know what the doctor? Hey, no. Shh. You know what the doctor said when you two get agitated. It's not good.
I don't go to the doctor. Why would a doctor wouldn't even know me?
Oh, don't worry, man. We know we got to strap you in that chair to get you in the doctor.
And my doctor thinks when I get agitated, it's just time to throw laundry and detergent so I can just clean their clothes.
The opposite is true. They didn't have to strap me in this chair. I was in this chair, and they actually had to. They gave me a needle in my leg, which sedated me, and then they brought me to the doctor. So it was unstrap me from the chair, is what they actually.
Is it like when you take a dog to the vet, you got to put a blanket in the back of the car? Your wife puts some toys back there, maybe a couple joints. Like
we're going to the park. You want to go to the park?
Yes, exactly.
You want some white weed? Here you go. Well,
you want to go to Weed World? Let's go to Weed World. And then you're like, this isn't Weed World.
We're going to Weed World?
And then I'll be going, this isn't the way to Weed World. You lied. Let Matt stick his head out the window while he's driving to Weed World.
They get there and they're like, Miss Napo, how was the ride? Oh, my mother's a skank whore, the usual, but he's ready.
Just to be clear, there are many paths to Weed World. There's not just one way to Weed World.
You sound like a fundamentalist Bible thumper.
All roads lead to Weed World.
There are many paths. Many paths to Weed World.
On that note, I was thinking of starting a YouTube channel called Weed World, and basically just going down there and like interviewing the weed tenders, they call them bud tenders. I don't know. Are you familiar with that term?
That's what they're called here too. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of like doing daily, little bits of weed education at Weed World. I'm your weedologist. I'm your local weed. I think that would be and not that it hasn't been done before, but I think it would be.
But it hasn't been done by you.
It hasn't been done by me or for free weed. For free weed.
Once I get my car, I'm going to be interviewing for a couple positions up at some dispensaries. So Pretty excited about it.
Make up your mind. Where you want to work?
Wait.
Do you want to work for Verizon? Do you want to work?
No,
for
I don't want to work at Verizon. I absolutely don't want to. I hate selling cell phones. I want. Plus, I don't make enough money.
But you get a discount. You get a discount on.
I get a discount on my service. Cool, but
what is the difference? Selling is selling. What's the big difference between selling a cell phone and selling weed? Nothing really. I mean,
no. Yes, there's a huge difference. The difference is I'm not ripping people off and locking them into a 36-month agreement to give me $2,000 for a cell phone.
I think you are. When you get
not worth
white
it.
weed, you are locking them
so
into
instead
a
you're selling weed so they can go out and party and drink and drive and drive into a tree.
Yes, but
are a killer.
That's fine. But also, okay, but that's a choice.
They end up on fentanyl because of you.
That's fine. But here's the thing. Why come to me for a cell phone when you can go to a store and get a cell phone for 1/8 of the price that does the same thing?
Why go to you at a dispensary for white weed when you can go to Puspatuk? I'm sorry.
Not where I'm at. We can't go to Puspatuk.
Yes, you can. You just don't know where it is. They have reservations where you can get weed everywhere.
There are reservations in Michigan to get weed from, but the actual dispensaries are closer than the.
I got one. Even like we told you, if you want cocaine, you'll get cocaine. Now do it.
Okay.
But when you get somebody to white weed, you are tying them into a 36-month contract.
That might be true. Mostly it's just because I don't make enough money is the biggest thing. I just don't make enough.
You're gonna make a bit more money in them. No, dispensaries they pay. Now I think Steven is fucking delusional because he was talking about Sweetwater has an entry-level job that starts at $70,000 for like a fucking music website. Come on, entry level.
No, it was an assistant event coordinator, and it was a massive undertaking. It was a big
entry
role.
level. You said it was entry level.
It was. They said no experience was needed for it.
No experience, $70,000. It doesn't add up. I think you were smoking a white.
No, it was 6 months of training. There was a whole bunch of shit. Yeah, it was 6 months of training. You had to go through a bunch of different shit. It was a whole thing.
You had to make love to several different men.
Yeah.
Yep. In the movie theater room, you had to go in there and pleasure them to the sound of music.
The movie or the soundtrack?
The movie.
Your voice grounds on him like a whiny cheese grater. Do you have any response to that, Amish boy?
Your mom grinds on me like a cheap hooker.
Like a bump? Is that like a bump grind? Bump and grind? Who's not? We're not slowing down anybody's grind here. I just want to make sure that clear.
Okay.
We are slowing down the bump, but not the grind.
Not the grind.
I guess we should do news. I guess I have to do news.
I think you're legally obligated to do news if we're ever going to get on terrestrial radio.
Again, it's the local time. It's 10:02 a.m. Eastern time, and it's time for Alan Edwards to tell us there's a new pope.
The House of Representatives has passed a bill that would officially rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Proponents of the measure say the change promotes pride in the country. The bill's passage in the House marks a step forward for this initiative. However, the legislation would still need to pass the Senate and be signed by the president to become law. The proposed name change has generated varied reactions across the nation. Lawrence Keller reporting.
President Trump has nominated Dr. Casey Means, a wellness influencer and Stanford-trained physician, as the new U.S. Surgeon General.
This announcement came after the withdrawal of the previous nominee, Dr. Jeanette Nashiwat, just days before her scheduled confirmation hearing. Dr. Means is known for promoting lifestyle-based approaches to health and is aligned with the administration's Make America Healthy Again agenda. Her nomination will now go to the Senate for confirmation. Jessica Oakley reporting.
The United Kingdom and the United States have unveiled a significant trade agreement, which officials are calling historic.
The deal was announced following weeks of negotiations and is being hailed as a boost for both economies. President Trump confirmed the pact, stating it would be an exciting day for both nations and that many other deals would follow. British officials emphasized the importance of the agreement in an era of global insecurity. Jim Kender reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Jim Kender reporting. I feel like that's already taken journalism.
A new scientific report
AI is
indicates that
killing
deadly rainfall experienced in the U.S. South and Midwest during April was intensified by climate change.
The analysis found that human-caused global warming made the record-breaking downpours approximately 9% heavier. This extreme weather led to significant flooding and damage in several states.
News.
The findings
Lip-fake
underscore
news.
the growing impact of climate change on weather patterns. Liam White reporting.
Civil rights leaders are emphasizing the need for continued police reform following the acquittal of 3 former Memphis officers in the death of Tyre Nichols.
The acquittals have reignited discussions about police accountability and the use of force. Nichols died after a confrontation with police following a traffic stop, and his death sparked widespread protests. Advocacy groups are calling for systemic changes in policing practices across the country. The case has been a focal point in the national conversation on justice and law enforcement. Kevin Sanders reporting.
A judge has declared a mistrial in the case of a Michigan police officer charged with second-degree murder in the fatal shooting of Patrick Lyoya.
The jury was unable to reach a unanimous verdict after deliberations. Lyoya, a Congolese immigrant, was shot in 2022 following a traffic stop, an incident that drew national attention. It is not yet clear if prosecutors will seek a retrial in the case. The outcome has been met with disappointment by some community members seeking a conviction. Kyle Norris reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Didn't say anything about a pope, did he? Did I miss? No, he didn't say nothing about no pope. No stinking pope.
No, that'll be news tomorrow. That'll be news on Monday.
Yeah. All right, over the weekend they'll be like, oh, like, did you hear about the pope? Is that a joke? Is that a setup line? Did I hear about the pope? No, I didn't hear about the pope. What about the pope? Did you guys catch the clip of the racist lady on Piers Morgan? You didn't catch that clip, did you?
No.
She wants freedom of speech to use the N-word whenever she feels it. It's pretty funny.
She can use it whenever she feels like it. There's nothing stopping her from using it, except for consequences.
Right, and she found out the consequence, and that's exactly the point. Piers, Piers is a weird dude, but hold on. I'm going to play this clip because it's kind of amusing.
But the consequences isn't coming from the government. See, that's the only thing that freedom of speech guarantees. And even then, all of our rights have some kind of loophole. So restriction.
A white racist.
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
That's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Well, if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Wow. It's not often that I just like.
He was so nice to her.
It's not often that I want to just stand up and applaud Piers Morgan, but that
I agree.
That was classic. That was really good.
He was so nice and classy. While Terry, I would have been
he wanted more of it on tape. He wanted more. Okay, go ahead. So
No,
you're dispensable
that's why he's a
racist?
professional.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, that's why he's a professional and good at what he does, because he was letting her dig a hole, and that's fine. That fucking people. What?
Yeah. Well, that's what that was about. And I kind of alluded to this story the other day. The woman who called the little kid that on the playground because the black kid was playing with her white son. And then she felt like she had to move because her neighbors were angry at her. So she did a fundraiser for $100,000 and got $500,000 for it. And that woman that was talking there was one of the people that helped her raise that much money and got lots of, it went viral and all that stuff. But it was the very white supremacist people wanting to just stick it up the lib's ass to say, yeah, she said the word, let's give her more money than she actually needs. Let's make her rich for saying this. They couldn't wait to donate to her.
Well, I think people really lost sight of it. Like, yeah, free speech is one thing, but society moves on and things change, and there are certain words that people do not like to be called anymore. And I don't understand why.
You're cunt in front of your little kid there. Are you okay with that? Because I have free speech to say that, but I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of.
Yeah, you still need as people, and to have like a normal society, you do need decorum at a certain point. Not like everything should be fucking open. And I think part of the problem with comedy, because sometimes there's really nothing guiding anybody. Comedy is horrific a lot of times because there's no one in place there to say, yeah, you know what, this does not work.
With all the people commenting on that clip, nobody is actually commenting on the part that sticks out to me. She says, people call me a white supremacist, a Nazi, or whatever. I embrace that. Would stop it right there. You embrace not being called a Nazi.
Where I live, if I go maybe a mile up the road, there's this dive bar, very redneckish dive bar. So like if I want to go there and hear the N-word, I can easily go hear it.
You're not talking about Nazis being an N-word though.
No. And the place we normally frequent, they tell you outright, they have a big sign on the wall, like no racial and like no gay slurs and things like that, because they had an issue like 2 years ago or something.
The thing that boggles my mind is that even when the days of Archie Bunker racism and all that kind of stuff, if you called somebody a Nazi, they would deny it. They wouldn't say, yeah, I am, I embrace that. We've gotten to a point where people think Nazism was a good thing. Whether you are racist or not, you would still probably not want to embrace being called a Nazi and say, no, I'm not that. You just don't understand. Right. But now we come to the point where, yeah, you damn right I'm a Nazi. I love Nazis. Nazis are all good. That's a B clip.
About a year ago, we were in the VFW, because there's a VFW. It's probably like 2 miles from my house as well. And we were in there.
Sorry, Matt, Ron, you need to explain to young people what a VFW is. It stands for Volkswagen.
Fucking white.
Yeah.
No, trust me.
Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Yeah, if you're a drinker, you know what a VFW is. But anyway, there's this woman at the bar, the white woman. She's like standing up on the bar, and she's like, she just yells the N-word like very loudly. Then she looks around.
But she probably figured that we weren't up that early.
Well,
no, that late.
You don't have to look around.
Let's be real though. The odds of there being a black person in a VFW,
you'll get the reaction pretty quick. You don't have to look around. That's pretty. It will be there.
Well, here is a fun demographic about the area that I live in. So when we first moved in here, it was whitey central for sure. But when we first moved in here, the school district did not have a football team. About 2 years after we had been here or so, they started football, and they started the midget football and all that, and it was all whiteys. But within 5 years, you started seeing more black families in the community, and now we have a very diverse mix on the football.
They got tired of losing.
And I wonder why.
Got tired of losing. Absolutely. It's like I don't know, baseball now. Like all these people who are anti-immigrant, they're very much pro-immigrant. If you can throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, we'll take them from all these countries that we call shithole countries. Bring them all as long as they can steal a base, hit a home run, play shortstop, whatever.
With all this stuff going on, what do you think about this push for Nate Bargatze right now? I mean, he's got a strong push behind him as, a very clean comic. And I've heard stories that because of Nate, the Nashville scene is kind of littered now with all these clean comics because that's what the clubs want, and it's horrific.
Yeah, but what's the big thing with Bargatze? He's been around forever. I mean,
you're right. He's been around forever, but the push that's behind him now is bigger than ever to really elevate him to that. I guess he's already at that next level, but to be like America's clean comic. That's
when
he was on.
You mean he's going to replace Jim
a year and a half
Gaffigan? Because that was Jim Gaffigan's role.
He might be this generation's Jim Gaffigan for sure. Yeah.
Oh, but got the Gaffigan white boy off. Clean comic off, whatever. When Nate was on SNL about a year and a half ago, my ex-brother, he called me. I'll be like, wow, this new comic. I'm like, new comic? What are you talking about? He's the guy who was on Saturday Night Live. And I looked at, and it was Nate, and I was like, "No, he's been around for 20 years, man. Where you been?" It's like you're just finding out about him now. I like Nate. He's a good guy. By the way, that's Craig Johnson in Albuquerque. You want to be friends with him, Ron. When you go out to Albuquerque, when you make your big move, he's the guy. He's a free PR service for any comedian.
I'm thinking it's going to be the Albuquerque area, or I might even go to Vegas.
Nice.
Craig was in Taos for a big show the other night. Standing room only. He said it was standing room only, and then he posted a picture of like a bunch of empty seats. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Taos has a new thriving, surprising, a small town like Taos having a thriving comedy scene now.
I gotta be out someplace west that it'll be easy to get to LA.
So local time now, it's 10:17. I'm sorry, my eyes are shut. 10:17 a.m. Eastern time, and Roy Lee Reynolds.
God damn it!
What?
No shows.
Why are you saying God damn it? Now do what GD does. He'll text them and say, "You're dead to me." And the guy's like, "Why were you? Why am I dead to you? I didn't know I was going to lie to you."
I'm just gonna send him a dick pic instead.
Send him a picture of that note.
This has been a week. This has been like a record-breaking week for no shows.
Wait, hold on. What would Ron do?
What would Ron call his mother a Cancor? No.
Yeah, Ron. We decided yesterday that we're going to have a T-shirt that says "Don't do the Ron thing," but it would be W and G. The W and G would be like penciled in or whited out, and so the RON in the word "wrong" would stand out.
We decided
don't make the Ron decision, and then
don't make the Ron decision. Yeah,
and then the bracelets would be what would Ron
I don't
do.
remember any of this being discussed. What was
No, this was me and GD's phone conversation yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he called me instead of you because he needed actual functional advice on something.
No.
And he didn't want to be called a bunch of dirty names in the process. He just wanted answers without the insult. So he says, "GD, I know Matt." He called me because like, "GD, I know Matt knows like 10 times more about this than you do, but I can't take the insults right now. I'm in a very fragile
Those words
place."
never came out of my mouth. I thought you were busy all day yesterday.
He says, "I'm in a very fragile place. I can't take another insult from Matt." He goes,
Steven,
so
you cock little fucking piece of shit loser. Why would you fucking think I would insult you?
we struggled through because again, Matt, you would have been the go-to guy. Even I would have gone to you for advice on this.
Well, I'm still gonna have to go to Matt because my issue is not
How to
fully
shave your
resolved.
fucking head? What the fuck do I know?
No, my
That's
base.
my area of expertise, by the way. I got the new blades, and I'm smoothing. I could my eyes closed and one hand tied up my ass.
My issue was my E string. It has a vibration on when I hold down either the first, second, or third fret. I have a vibration. So I think I got to figure it out.
It also turns out that Stephen is Christopher Columbus. He discovered the bass when he was 12 years old. He discovered it, and before then there was no bass. People were playing.
No, that was when I personally discovered it.
people were
when I first held one.
They were playing very thick guitars.
The vibration you're talking about, a buzz. You get like a buzz, a fret buzz,
a rattle.
It's a fret buzz, right?
Yeah, when I hold down the first or second, when I'm on the first or second fret, and I pluck it, there's a rattle.
Let me
say, it's been resolved.
It's been mostly resolved.
But let me say where you went wrong, because you wanted a job with Sweetwater. You wanted to be this little fucking cuck boy for Sweetwater. You wanted to suck Sweetwater's cock for $70,000 a year. And when you buy from Sweetwater instead of Amazon,
I bought from Amazon.
You bought from Amazon. When you buy from Sweetwater instead of Amazon, they set it up and make sure you have no fret fucking buzz for the same price. They do all that work. So you could have ingratiated yourself with your wannabe employer and cut out that fucking Bezos bullshit machine. Got it for the same price, delivered the same thing, and set up so you wouldn't have to deal with that. And God forbid have to call GD because you want him to be nice.
Now, Matt, I did say that I'm surprised that they didn't catch that before it left the store.
It's Amazon. It's Amazon. It didn't leave a store. It left a warehouse.
But I didn't. Like I said, he was a very fragile place, and he didn't want to hear all the insults. He wanted friendly advice from a friendly
Not
face.
that I am endorsing Sweetwater, because we wanted them to be a sponsor for 5 years now and can't get them to agree to a sponsorship deal. But Sweetwater, I mean, anytime you buy from them, the instrument comes set up perfect.
No, I've already decided that once I get my vehicle situation done, and I can spend a little bit more, I'm gonna get one from them. Yeah.
You're gonna get what? A new bass already? You're gonna buy a new bass already? That bass will.
It will though. This bass will work, and I'm gonna learn the fundamentals on it. But I'd like to get something that doesn't have a rattle at some point.
I think you're taking bad advice.
I thought you got rid of the rattle. Last night you said to me the rattle was gone.
It was, but then when I played it again later, it was back.
So how did you get rid of it? What did you do? You didn't like adjust the bridge or?
No, I told him to cover it with tape, and it wouldn't rattle. You just put tape over the fret, you know.
No, I adjusted the bridge a little bit. Yes.
Adjusted the bridge.
Which helped. It helped quite a bit, but it's still there a little bit.
Sounds like the accident. It's not set up for the gauge of the strings that you have on there. Now, this is going to be a problem for you because you're a poor motherfucking cuck, little piece of shit loser. I'm sorry. It's just natural.
I was actually I was thinking about picking up. If that's the thing, I could get some strings from Sweetwater while I'm in Fort Wayne.
I'm just saying that the price of bass strings is not like guitar strings. Guitar string, you go at $7 and you got yourself a new. Well, for bass strings now,
guitar strings have been $7 for 20 years.
You got to go to the bank and take out a mortgage when you want bass strings. Is what I'm saying.
And don't even try to buy double bass strings. Oh my god!
And I'm actually not as broke as I used to be, so things are okay.
What do you think Michelle goes through with his 24-string bass?
Oh my god, he's got to go through them, man. That's.
I think when you're that good though,
$100 to restring that thing, the 24-string.
I don't know. Yeah. So did you get your little amplifier with it? Because all we see is the bass in the picture.
Yeah, it's the bass, the amp. It came with a tuner with no battery and the strap, a pick,
and a cable.
Tools, and a cable.
All right. Now you're taking some bad advice. I think people telling you, "Oh, go learn Radiohead." Blah, 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 blah. Start with Carol K. Book 1. Thank you very much. You can even look up Carol K. Introductory bass lesson videos. And
That song was on the video I watched. It was a real simple 1-string playthrough. Was all it was.
Yeah. 1 string.
Yeah.
Wow. That's 1 string. I know. What is it? Is it like here with or without you from YouTube or U2 or something? It's like 4 notes.
No, it was High and Dry by Radiohead.
High and Dry. All right. Okay. Steven's bass lessons segment of the show is now over.
Well, and Momo's gonna meet with me next week and do a Zoom call. Give me some
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you getting fucking bass lessons from the man himself, Mr. Momo.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, I reached out and he was
Probably
like,
taking pity because he knows you're a loser cock.
I reached out and he was like, oh, I'd absolutely love to give you some pointers and show you around and show you some things. So yeah.
Now
I told Steven I have to start practicing my bass more because I can't get to the point where he just starts and he passes me, and all of a sudden
I think
he's a
you
better
got
bass
about
player
20
than me.
years to
Probably.
You could sit on the bench for 20 years, smoke a joint, whatever, it's kick back.
No, I can't, because don't forget my arthritis is catching up with me. My hands are slowing down, even though my
You can
heart is
cut your
speeding
fucking
up.
hands off. You still got 20 years.
That's true. Probably true. Yeah.
I mean, listen, playing an instrument is a dedication. You gotta commit.
No, yeah,
to it.
I don't expect it. I don't expect.
And you can't be wasting all your time fucking diddling kids. You got to practice.
I spent 4 hours practicing yesterday. I spent 4 hours practicing. I was proud of myself. I got blisters on my fingers.
That's very judgmental, man. To say that that's his enthusiasm is a waste of time.
No, I didn't say. I said
he's
you
a
can't. You
child
gotta choose.
enthusiast.
You have to choose between your enthusiasm.
I choose to diddle the bass instead.
Yeah. All right. But slip. The guy was telling you to learn slip. Oh no, you were saying you wanted to learn.
No,
slip.
I just said that's like a
don't
stretch
go there.
goal. That's a stretch goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to at some point in the future.
I think you want to go boom, 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 boom. That's what you want to start.
I want to follow fat people around and just boom.
Do that all day long. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and don't forget to use a metronome. Yeah, learn to use
The Fender app has a metronome on it that I was using while I was practicing. It was really nice. Yeah.
The amp has a metronome?
No, the Fender app. That's what I used to. Yeah, I used it to tune it, and then it also has a metronome on.
Wait, you came with a tuner.
It doesn't have a battery in it. It needs a watch battery. I got to go to Walgreens and get a watch battery.
A watch battery? What the fuck kind of tuner did you get? Usually they take like a 9-volt or like the.
That's what it came with. It's a tuner about this big.
It's one of those little small tuners that like clips onto.
It clips onto the head, and then you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't like those. I'm not big on those.
No, but the Fender tuner was nice because as you're tuning, it'll tell you higher or lower. It'll help you fine tune it. So it was easy to do.
The little clip-on thing will do the same thing. It gives you the arrow whether you got to go up or down or whatever.
Yeah, but I didn't have a battery.
So. GD's point, those things they suck. First of all, I break the clips on them all the time. Like I've gone through at least 20 of those. Like just break the clip off.
I bought one of those because I was desperate. I had a show. I was doing a show, and I left my tuner at home. And I was like, "Oh fuck, you got to be kidding me!" So, but fortunately, whenever I have a show, I usually show up early, and I had like an hour or two to kill. So I went out and bought a tuner, and it was like a clip-on tuner. I was desperate, but I haven't used it since. This
app tuner worked great, man. It cut out a lot of the background noise. Like there wasn't a lot, but like the buzzing from the ceiling fan and all that shit, it cut all that out. It just picked up the amp really nice. So.
Slaptail makes a good. I don't know if Slaptail's a bass player. You have weak ass pressure.
I tried with different pressures on the fret.
I have to finish his comment. You little bitch. Okay. Now you wanted to respond.
Yeah, no, I tried it with different pressures on it, and it was still rattling. So, like I said, I've mostly eliminated the rattle, so it's at least playable now. So,
I wanted, like I said, without holding the baits, I didn't want to like mess with the neck itself, the action on the neck, because all that stuff's supposed to be factory preset. You know, they're supposed to check all that stuff before you get it, but
you know how frustrated I am with this, where we are with this program now.
No,
Ellen Ayavadayan, the 9-year-old bass player, she's fucking ripping it up on Facebook and YouTube and all this stuff. And I wanted to get her on the program. You can be on, bring your father on, just because it's 4 dirty old men, and we don't want to have a 9-year-old girl on here and cause any trouble with that dad being present. But I can't get her because she's doing her own Patreon live Zooms. There's like too big a star. A 9-year-old bass player is too big a star to come on this show. I feel like, where do we go from there? I mean, how am I ever going to get respectable guests on the show?
Well, first of all, you don't tell people that you can't get a 9-year-old on the show. Start there. Don't tell people that.
Also, it may have helped to get the 9-year-old prodigy on if you didn't call your co-host a pedophile all day every day.
I didn't tell him that.
No, but if they watched any episode for the last 3 months.
That's why I told her to bring her father to safeguard from you. And her father's a monster player, by the way, too. And then there's videos of her playing with her father's band. It's just like incredible. You see this fucking amazing like jazz rock band, and they're all like great musicians, and it's being led by this fucking 9-year-old girl, and she's doing.
Yeah, you tagged us in that video.
You tagged us. I didn't watch it. I wouldn't watch. As soon as I saw what it was, I'm not watching this. I know what it is. She's shredding. I don't need to see it.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. I was like, it made me want to Kurt Cobain myself before I even touched the bass.
No, I don't need to see that. It's like
she's not shredding. She's just laying down like basic grooves. That's the kind of stuff stuff you should be learning. Forget about like this idea of learning all these rock songs note for note.
No, I know it's the videos I was watching. Yeah, the videos I was watching had these songs at the end to kind of follow along with. They're not songs I picked out in particular. No.
Somebody was
too many bass players.
That sounds like a line from a Marvel movie. Too many wizards.
Yeah, too many bass players want to rock right away without understanding groove and without understanding the bass's function of being a pattern-based instrument. It's a rhythm instrument, and most people want.
I have full expectation of learning, jazz, blues, all of that before any of the stuff that I want.
That's not even what I'm saying. I'm saying patterns. Understand how bass patterns work. Understand the roles of the instrument rather than the technical. What can be done with it. Because I think the great players that Charles Berthold and Danny Sapkos and all those people, they will tell you the same thing. They started by just understanding pattern, the instrument as a pattern-based instrument, and then you go from there and expand upon it from there. But at its core, bass is best when it's a boring fucking pattern over and over again, when it hypnotizes you into dancing. I
was telling Steven that when in the 70s, 76, 77, when I first started playing, I wanted to be a bass player. And back then, most of the prevalent bass players were playing disco, and boom, doom, 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 a lot of octave work.
Well, that's why I like Almost playing, because he does a lot of that more groove based, pattern rhythmic playing, and it's beautiful. I love. That's why I went to him to ask for some pointers.
Gigi just caught himself in or just exposed himself. It's a terrible idea. When I first started playing in the 70s, we all know he started playing in the 30s with the Ink Spots. He was the original bass player for the Ink
I was just waiting for the story to go. I was playing someplace, and then this small man from Minneapolis came in with a guitar. And then he started playing all these licks. And I said, there's no way he's that good. Then I started playing my guitar to show him how good he was. Then I noticed 2 years later, that riff popped up on an album.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Why would I tell that story? That didn't happen. It wasn't Prince. It was Jimmy Jam who stole from me that day.
Ooh, Jimmy Jam.
Yeah,
Wow.
Jimmy Jam. They stole my stuff.
Oh.
And they stole my Columbia, Maryland sound and turned it to a Minneapolis sound. It was just awful.
Just going to empty into a bucket.
All right.
So we have 2 no-shows on a Friday. I don't care. I don't really care.
We got Rombo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made it here. How did I make it?
We made the wrong decision.
And he shows up.
Look at all these people. Look at all these people watching this. They're like, I know this guy is sexy.
Yeah.
What's going on Instagram? I didn't check on Instagram.
And what's the rest of your Joker shirt say, Ron? I got jokes.
Yeah, it just says I got jokes on it.
Oh, okay.
I gotta check Rumble.
I love the OG Joker though. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think my wife or son got this for me like 2 or 3 Christmases ago.
Hell yeah, awesome.
All right, Rumble. Fuck you with your lies.
My stepson had got me a T-shirt that says, "This is my stand-up comedy shirt," which I only wear to sleep in.
Hey, at least you're wearing it. That counts for something.
Yeah.
You're using it.
Canadians. It bothers me when people are, and I don't understand the whole premise here, why they would do this. But according to Rumble right now, we have exactly 800 people, 800 on the dot. Like, that's a weird number, right, to come up with.
Well, you can't have 800 and a half. You can't have a half a person. That's not.
I know, but you could have 801, 800, or $799. Well, 800 on the dot.
My girlfriend took my only stand-up shirt.
You know, you want them to just make it
But
odd
it's not
numbers
the
to
number.
be happy.
It's a lie. There aren't 800 Canadians who fucking get up this early, though, especially waste their life.
Okay, all right, here we go. This is the easy way to check. Okay, guys in Rumble, if you're actual person, raise your hand so we can see you. Raise your hand.
They can't. We can't. This is StreamYard's problem.
Matt, I'm
they
counting.
Won't tie
Matt, I'm counting,
Rumble.
okay?
They won't tie Rumble into the.
I counted 738.
I got 774. Damn it.
Shit.
Butter me with Crisco and call me a mule.
Oh, I see. I see. There was a couple people who they just had big hair, and I was counting. Never mind. Yeah.
Counted them as 2.
What's abuse? I hardly knew her. I love the Bible. My Bible has so many sticky pages that I have to use Vance's tongue to get the pages loose.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm getting a paint party.
Yeah, I have 2 stand-up shirt. I had 1 stand-up shirt that was mine, and yeah, my lady took it. I was like looking around for it earlier because I was gonna pack it, and she's like, "Oh, I got it." I was like, "What the fuck? Give it back."
Does she wear the bed now? Like, look at this.
She did. I asked her about it, and she sent me a picture last night in bed with it, and I'm like, "All right, I guess it's yours now." I don't.
No, it's my mom used to wear my nephew. Mom used to wear my nephew's T-shirts because my nephew was like hip and he had all the cool sayings and stuff. But my mom was like a 36 double G, and so she'd wear his T-shirt and him stretch it all out. He'd be all pissed. He go to put his shirt on and it doesn't fit anymore. He goes, "What the fuck?" And he starts to say, "Nana, you got to stop wearing my shirt." She goes, "But then I like your shirts." He's like, "But I can't wear them after you wear them." just stretching his shirts out. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure.
After that, my nephew never dated big-chested women. He only dated. You understand what I'm saying? Stick with something like a C cup or a D cup. You don't.
It is a problem.
Yeah.
Because this is because she put one of my shirts on one of the first nights she stayed the night, and she stretched it out with her jubblies. So same problem, man. It's a problem.
I'm getting paint parties up the wazoo. I guess Mother's Day is a big time for paint.
That could be painful, Matt.
Are your paints non-toxic?
It wouldn't be painful. You don't know how open my wazoo is. My wazoo is.
I'm not thinking about the size of the wazoo. I'm thinking about the chemical reaction. I'm thinking about
a weird way to say you're gay.
It's acrylic. It's not really like it's not toxic. Well, maybe it's toxic.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about chemical reaction.
It's not lead based. It's water based. So I don't know.
Oh, like lube. Okay.
Wow, the house. I'm just looking at the house. Tomorrow they're offering me a party, and I just looked up the address, and it says the estimated value of the house. It's at
Holy
$8,284,000.
fucking shit!
I don't know if I want to go in there with a bunch of acrylic paint and.
I would. Fuck it. They can afford to clean it.
They could also
all their money may be tied up in. See, a lot of people assume because somebody has like a nice car or a nice house that they have a lot of money. Sometimes they're house poor, or in my case, house broke. You know. So.
Well, when I was working in Plano, Texas, the big joke there was it's the home of the $30,000 millionaire because everyone was living on credit.
Wow.
Because Plano, it was really being built up, and everything was, a lot of it was still shiny and new, and it's all catered to young professionals.
Yeah. Well, they had a picture of Seinfeld. Seinfeld bought Billy Joel's house in 2004, and they were for some reason they were showing it and listing the value $39 million mansion in East Hampton, or is it Montauk or wherever? But it's so huge. Now I can't imagine why anybody would want to live there. It's got to be so lonely. It's like living on a planet by yourself. There's you're in a house. There's so many fucking rooms. It's empty. It's like going to the biggest hotel you can imagine, and no other people being there. It would be nice for a day, but I can't imagine living there.
It's manifesting. It's manifesting what's on the inside. He's empty on the inside, so he lives in a big empty place. That's all. It's just It's just manifesting. And some people just want to show off their fucking money. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I
wouldn't need that. I wouldn't need that. Even if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be living that kind of stupid lifestyle.
There's no way, dude. If I struck the lottery for some reason and came across that kind of money, gross, I would. There's no way I'd have a house that big. I would something comfortable, sure, but not.
If I'm able to do something in comedy, I just want to, I'm going to keep my house.
I
live modestly, and I want to have experiences. I don't want to own shit,
dude. Exactly. I want to make that kind of money where I have a modest home, I have a decent car, everything's comfortable and paid for, but then I can go out and make memories. We can travel the world. We can go do things. That's what'd be important to me, not the fucking house and cars. Fucking driving around in $1 million car or $800,000 car for fucking what? You're going to be stuck in the same traffic I'm in my fucking $2,000 piece of shit. What's the point? It makes no sense to me.
Well,
stupid.
Yeah. Like I said, I just don't need that kind of stuff to I just don't need it.
No, it's just, it's not a necessity thing. It's just
outdoor pool, indoor pool, like the Seinfeld ex Billy Joel mansion. It's got a gigantic pool outdoors, and it's got an indoor pool. He's got an indoor gym. Now, does Seinfeld ever use that fucking gym? I doesn't look like it.
He probably goes in there and goes, "What's the deal with all the weight?" And then he walks out. That's about the extent of his gym experience, I'm sure. Because the thing is, the dude's not fat, but he's not like I don't think he's really in shape either. I think he's just got that normal lanky Jew body.
This is back when I used to work for that company that rhymes with DirecTV. And this house, huge house, they had an indoor Olympic-sized pool. Okay, indoor Olympic-sized pool. And above it, they had a projection television set. Huge projection television set that was maybe 10, 20 feet across. I mean, it was just huge. And the only thing I could see, and I think Ron might associate this, I saw that TV and I thought to myself, it's going to break one day. Somebody's going to have to fix that shit. And it's over top of the pool. An Olympic, I mean, you're going to have to get to that. And it was like they had a catwalk where you could crawl up and walk across and, easily maintenance. No, it was almost like they put the projection TV up first and then built the pool and filled the pool with water, thinking,
you probably used a boom lift or something to fucking install it.
But even still, crazy. Yeah, but you'd have to put the boom in the pool because there's not enough room on the side of the pool for something that heavy with that kind of ballast, because you'd have to reach like 30, 40 feet that way. You know, I used to work on a bucket van. My bucket van as heavy as it was, only had a 30-foot boom.
Soundbite or something about a bucket.
It's wild though, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
It just doesn't make any sense.
And I was there to make sure that the DirecTV worked with that system. And it, so fortunately I didn't have to access the actual screening itself, just the electronics, which was on the ground. But I just kept thinking to myself, that's going to need to be replaced. And that's how I view the world. Everything breaks. You have to be able to fix it if you want it to work. I don't need something that's bigger than I can fix.
Right. It's just, because I know Seinfeld doesn't have like a big family in it. And I hate to pick on him. But they showed his house. And it's beyond the palace. It's beyond the castle. It's a fucking, it's bigger than Mar-a-Lago. And just to live there with just your wife and your daughter, and his daughter's probably grown now and moved out. It's just him and his wife. Like, what do you need all that for? I don't care how rich I got. I would never want to live in a place like that and I like space. Here I have plenty of space for my neighbors and stuff. But that is just overkill. Like, I agree. It's probably just wanting to flaunt his money. But it's like, what the fuck?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised the Trump administration hasn't repealed. Was it like a year or two ago they passed that law that things need to be repairable because there were so many complaints that when you would buy stuff from a manufacturer, especially electronics and stuff, it was very hard to repair or like the tools weren't out there. But now there's something in place where like manufacturers have to make the ability to repair their products because there's a lot of people that are like that repair shit after it's broken. They just don't throw it away.
Yeah, like my task.
I didn't know that was even a thing. That there's a law on the books.
Yeah, let me look that up to make.
Was it a law or was it a bill? Was it ever passed?
Yeah, I believe it. Let me see.
Because I have a Tascam Portal 1 that's going to need to be worked on, and I don't know a shop that can repair it. I'm going to go down to the music store and see where they send their stuff. Otherwise, I have to
more intricate is like these smart TVs, these little flat screen TVs. When they go on the fritz, it's so all like plasma parts and stuff like that. I mean, replacing those has got to be a bitch, right? It's just because we have
just throw it away. You just throw it away and buy a new one.
There you go. Planned obsolescence. They do it on purpose to make it wear out over very quickly, and then you have to go out and buy a new one.
See, it's called Right to Repair. It's been passed. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's in 6 states: California, Colorado, Minnesota, Maine, New York, and Oregon. Right to repair laws have been passed to protect the consumer's ability to repair or modify their products instead of having to go through the manufacturer.
Wow.
And they are trying to pass.
You're the only person in America who knew that was a law.
Except for the 6 states where they passed it, right? At least the legislatures knew.
Yeah, it's only in 6 states, but it's been growing. It's a movement that has been growing. It's they're talking about it here in Pennsylvania as well because, like I said, there are a lot.
We have breaking insult. Breaking insult. How many people can fit in that tent you wear, Stephen? Okay, we can continue. I'm sorry. Anytime somebody says something insulting to Stephen, I think we have to.
Hey, Slaptail, I still want to come out that weekend of July 24th. Let me know how you're making out show-wise. But yeah, you got to be able to repair your shit. I know a lot of guys that like to repair their shit.
Yeah, I just want to know that because like I have my tractor mower. I just repaired it. If I had, go ahead.
I was just going to mention. I mean, your phone is the perfect example.
Yes.
Like if you break the screen, you either got to go to Apple or you go to one of those you break iFix places.
Yep.
Or even the battery, just something we know. Even if you take care of your phone forever and never break the screen, the battery is going to go, and you can't just.
Phones are one of those things that the people have been asking for some sort of legislation to stop the way that they're going because at the moment, like when I started in cell phones, I worked at a service and repair center. I could rebuild you a phone completely. As long as the motherboard was intact, I could build a phone. And nowadays you have to have machines to get them to come apart. You have to be able to, you have to program the pieces so they actually function when they plug in, because from the manufacturer, they don't allow that. So you have to like find workarounds. And like Apple products, perfect example. If you buy a screen online and you install it yourself, it won't work unless it's programmed by Apple to work on that phone.
Apple's trying to stifle Steven. You hear that? His mic is cutting out as he's talking about Apple. All of a sudden,
I know the one thing that concerns me about like my car, and this has been from the very beginning. I'll get like a warning that my signal doesn't work, and I'm like, and I get out. The first time it happened, I got out and said, "No, it's working. Why is it telling me my light is out?" And I'm checking, and it occasionally it does it. Like once a month or so, it'll say my light is out. Or they tell me that I'm getting 1,000 miles of the gallon, because it also keeps track of my mileage, how I'm driving, and it'll say like, you're getting 900. It's like you're getting 900. Yeah, so you're getting 990. I'm sorry, not 1,000, because it maxes out at 999. I don't know why 999 is like the most miles per gallon I can get in my car.
You sure you weren't looking at it upside down?
Even if it was 666 miles of the gallon. You know, but I don't know why it stops at 999. Like it couldn't give me that extra 1 mile per gallon to get 1,000 miles a gallon. You know, so
it's not bad for $1.98.
You know, so it's but it happens once in a while. It might, like if I have like a brand new tank of gas and I just charged the battery in the car so that everything is full. When I go to drive it, goes, I have 1,000 miles of the gallon until it. And then it slowly works its way down.
The drifting outlaw comedian, how many gallons to the mile, miles to the gallon, gallons to the mile?
It depends. Is he drifting uphill or down? Is he
if it's a real drift, if it's a real drift car, probably like 10, 11 miles to the gallon.
Drifting outlaw comedian.
Probably less. Probably less than that.
Unless he's drifting downhill. If he's drifting downhill, you could probably,
Well, it's the sideways momentum that really kills the mileage. It's the spinning the tires.
You're keeping the RPMs at a high consistency.
Keeping them anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 RPMs, sideways, uphill or downhill. You're burning tons of fun.
And if you're driving a car like that, more than likely your fuel injectors and everything are high performance, made for that. So that
probably also have turbo and boost. Yeah, I mean, it's a rocket ship is generally what those cars are. So,
Never Matt wants one because Matt just wants something that he can get to.
You don't want one. Those cars need so much work all the time.
I don't want
a car. The car Matt has now needs so much work all the time. So
my brother had one. They had to they weld the differential, and all that shit. And it just anytime something goes wrong, you have to tear the whole car apart. It's horrible.
No, I don't need work on the car all the time. There was that one thing with the transmission thing that was a recurring thing that will last a couple of months there. But my issue is my wife wants to bring the cars into a mechanic and leave it there for an inspection. Oh, we'll bring it in Monday morning, and then just have to come back 3 days later for it. What the fuck? You don't have to give up you bring it in, you say inspect it, here's your money and go. You don't fucking surrender your car for a week just to get it inspected. It's crazy, but this is the modus operandi of my house and my wife's scheduling things. We'll drop it off at the mechanic. No, dropping it off means I'm walking for a week.
You little paint gigs. I can only take paint gigs that are half a mile within the house because I gotta walk.
Right. And there's nothing within half a mile of the house. There's nothing.
What about that place that wanted to hire you for $400,000 a year? Is that more than half a mile?
That's about 5 miles down the road. And
are they still calling you for one interview question a day?
Why do you have to bring that up? Why do you have to? Why do you feel like you need to remind the world, especially if the wrong people are listening?
Because he's a dick. But anyway,
that's a B.
I'm not sure if you guys heard, but Dirty Work is getting released on Blu-ray 4K.
Hold on.
They're releasing the
Steven, what is Dirty Work?
I don't know.
You suck, you asshole.
You do not know the movie Dirty Work?
What a cock.
Oh my God. It's Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang, directed by Bob Saget. It is not the greatest movie, but the fucking jokes in it are so, and it's Norm is perfect in it.
Yeah. It's a buddy movie with Norm and Artie. Come on.
I'll have to check it out.
Come on.
Yeah.
How you not know that? How do you call yourself a comedian?
I may have seen it. I just don't remember. I mean, it doesn't ring a
Chris
bell.
Farley has a small role in it.
Yeah.
John Rickles.
Rickles. Right.
Yeah, he's kind of an appearance.
Yeah.
Speaking of small roles, the doctor that we had on here, Albert Bermonti.
Yeah.
He told me to reach out to him, and I've been reaching out to him, and he hasn't responded back. I'm wondering if he's okay now. He may have died.
No, well, this is fucking. I'm glad you said this because I was under the impression because he's left a public review of this show that he got booked on one of my co-hosts' show within an hour of him being on this program, and this was like his review of his time on here, that he got booked on one of my co-hosts' show within an hour of his appearance on. Steven, did you book him? Ron, did you book him? No.
Nope.
So he's claiming that he got booked on your show in public, and you're saying he didn't.
I tried to book him, but he's not responding to anything.
Maybe
he's not responding he's not responding to any of the emails.
Wow. So it is you that he's saying that about then. So
yeah, and not just me, but it's on two of the shows. Don't Way Past Funny, and also What Makes Us Laugh.
Wow. Has your thing with Alan Katz started yet?
No, that's just it. He's supposed to be one of our first guests. It shouldn't come out until June. We're getting.
Is your other Katz friend aware of your new Katz relationship?
You don't have two strange cats. You just don't put two cats in the same room. You have to put them in cages and let the cages sit next to each other so they can get used to smell each other first.
It would just be interesting, like have a battle, cats off. I think it would make the former cats.
And here's the other problem: the other cats isn't my friend. Okay, he's a business acquaintance who takes my money for services.
Right.
One cat is a friend. The other cat is a transactional.
That's what I'm saying. I think it would burn the one who is calling you you too many dick jokes, whatever. That cat it would burn his ass to know that you found the better cats.
You fat cat.
A more, I would say, probably at least as successful cats.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure he knows because. Remember, Alan Katz was on Dumb Way Past Funny, and I also promoted that on the thing because I've invited people from there. I've opened it up to his comedians and say, any of you guys want to be on Dumb Way Past Funny or on this show? I put the links out and said, and none of them have responded. I'll take that back.
Because they don't show up.
Well,
they didn't know you were even inviting them. Like if you're inviting Roy Lee Reynolds right now, he doesn't know it.
Well, there's one woman has a series that she's just released, and so I told her about this, and I invited her on Don't Way Past Funny, and she goes, "I will do that." She said, "Sounds great. I will do it." I'm super busy right now, but a couple of weeks, which is like 3 weeks ago, in a couple of weeks, which to me means 2. She want to do it, so they know what I do. They know it, but and the Alan Katz thing, I did promote that on there. So everybody on that thing knows if they
speak American.
So
what's going on here? What's going on here? Stop trying.
Hey, the other night, my wife and I, we went to this United Way fundraiser because she gives to the United Way, and they have this fundraiser every year, and like one of the big prizes they give away is a brand new car and stuff like that. But the event itself, they need a producer because it
volunteering. Are you
Well,
volunteering?
yeah, they need something, because whoever put that together is like, what are you doing? It was, I think you mentioned earlier about being in a show and just being able to watch it, but like I'm there, and it's like, who is putting this together? Because he brought up one lady, she gets off stage, then 5 minutes later he brings her up again. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Then the headliner was this woman who like really turned her life around. Like, she went through rehab and all this other shit, and that was great. And they give away the prizes, so like that's the end. Then he wants to start speaking again. And he's like, well, let me tell you about. So now everyone's in this weird place because they're like, well, we want to leave because
we got our shit. Let's go.
And this guy is. And you felt bad for him because like some people were leaving and some people were staying. What was great where we were sitting, there were like all these people around us, and my wife's like, yeah, we should go because the park is real. And she gets up, and like the people were looking at, and I looked at her, and I looked around the other people. I was like,
we're out of here.
So Ron, are you like officially volunteering your services to help the United Way?
I would for that, because it shouldn't have been like, here's a picture I took, which
they kind of
that's sweet.
That
looks like a scene that looks like something out of a Groucho Marx movie.
Yeah, it does. It looks exactly. That's a Groucho Marx pose if I ever saw one.
Yeah. And she's got the little Margaret Dumont thing going, like, I don't know this man. He's after my money.
Now, United Way, didn't they because during, I'm dating myself here, probably 20, 30 years ago now, but they were accused of being like just not really being charitable. They were just like
they all were. Red Cross was, United Way.
They all
were. They were all like skimming.
So how did they turn that around and become publicly acceptable again? Because they were like
just new leadership and things like that.
New leadership and also new rules as to what, or more transparency, I should say, because you can go like to the Better Business Bureau and they have like gradations of how good a charity is based on how much of the money that they collect goes to administrative costs and how much actually goes to the cause that they're asking the money for.
This year, they raised almost like $9 million, the United Way, around here.
Wow.
So
it's kind of like
it was a good year.
Yeah.
The AARP is a very left-wing political organization. People on American Association of Retired Persons, whatever. There's another one, AMAC, which is the conservative version of that. And years ago, a drummer who worked with my band, he was part of that organization. And the woman who ran it would come to our gigs, and she was a total fucking...
So with the conservative one, do you get like a guidebook to like arguing at Perkins when you go to order your dinner and the waitress is 25 and you're 65? How do you interact with these cool kids today?
Well, they had offered me a job, which is where, and this is kind of, they do exactly that. They have an indoctrination program and they have all this stuff. And when they offered me a job, I made it clear because it was right around 2017. And I was like trying to make it very clear that no matter what you say, I don't care about conservatism or any of this stuff, but I'm not getting on board with Trump stuff because that is not conservatism. And I feel like the libs of today are really conservatives. They are classical liberalism is what all conservatism at least claimed it stood for. And now you do have people on the left who are socialists, democratic socialists, outright socialists, communists, but those are the fringe left. The actual left, the liberals or progressives, are more like conservatives or the Eisenhower era conservatives than the conservatives are at all. And the conservatism doesn't exist anymore. You got Trumpism.
Or you could be like most people and be moderates. I think that's what most people are. You lean conservative on some things, and you lean liberal on some things, because I think that's just human nature.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think everyone could agree that you need police to have a normal society, a functioning society, but also those police should be held accountable for their actions as well, and not have immunity and shit like that.
Yeah, the biggest problem I have with policing is that when policing was started, they didn't have those restraints. Policing was basically designed to help rich white people, and to keep the poor people from stealing the rich white people's shit. And that was what it was based on. And they never got away from that as a principle. Now, even when they say protect and serve, they don't say who they're protecting and who they're serving, but we know who they're protecting and serving. You know,
somebody brought a good thing up about the police force and saying, you know what, why is it you never hear kill a cop? You know, cop killer is one thing, but you never hear killer fireman songs. They don't. Why? Because they don't fucking abuse people. I mean, all cops have to do to get people to like them is actually behave like decent people
and put out a calendar once a month. Firemen put out calendars, and the ladies go like,
they put
crazy.
out fires. They put out calendars. That's weird.
Yeah, they put out.
And fire dogs are way cuter than police
calendars. Catch on fire. Is that what it is?
They're starting fires in pants. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. They're getting
So that burn ladies. That's not just chlamydia.
That's right, and it gets so wet that they can put out fires with it.
Do you ever get chlamydia, Stephen?
Nope, never had an STD.
I mean, I know that's your generation's herpes or whatever. Right?
No, I have been both smart enough and lucky enough to avoid all STDs and STIs.
Somehow I didn't get gonorrhea or syphilis when it was the thing of my generation. It was honestly, I knew got it.
Herpes was still the big scare when I was like younger. Like everyone was still worried about getting that, and I got lucky with that, so I never got any of it.
How about the crabs? Do you ever get the crabs?
No, nothing. I also don't have a ball fro, so.
Either will you guys get the crabs? TD's smiling. He must have got the crabs. He probably has them now right there.
I told the joke the other night, and it was so stupid, but it went well. You know, it was just stupid. I was responding to something. We were talking about I was just talking when I was a kid. My father used to bring home crabs every weekend, and I said that my mother found that he was cheating on her. So, because crabs, and we was talking about Chesapeake. We were talking about Maryland blue crabs, but I changed the subject to the other crabs. And like I said, it was a very stupid joke, but it just went over so well that I just started laughing again.
Yeah,
mannequin pussy.
Mannequin pussy sounds like not a confession to me. I don't know why. It just sounds like he's saying not a confession, which makes a little more sense when he's saying that he didn't have crabs, and you're saying it's not a confession because it is a confession. Whatever.
If anyone is near New Cumberland, Pennsylvania tonight, Fratelli's is happening at 8:00, and it's our last show before our summer break. So come on out, and it's also the 4th anniversary of the show.
Wow!
Oh, happy anniversary!
Yep, happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! It's summer already. It doesn't feel like summer yet. It still feels.
Well, summer starts earlier for Telly's.
Oh.
Yeah, we have the summer off, which I'm super excited about. So this show will happen. Then my next show will be Friday the 13th in September.
Friday the 13th coming up in June too. So wow, we got bookended of summer Friday the 13th. Bad luck stuff. The beach clubs are opening up here this weekend. They're not ready for that. It gets fucking cold on the beach here in May at night. So I just can see people wearing fucking winter coats, parkas on the beach. It's not exactly take your fucking clothes off and dance at the beach stuff. But
no, and I guess you're getting a lot of rain too, aren't you? Like we are.
I don't know. I didn't see
not
that
anymore. All the rain that was here is coming your guys' way. So
I haven't been able to go out and finish cutting my tree because it's been raining and thunder and lightning.
The tree that you're supposedly cutting down.
Supposedly, you saw the fucking video.
I saw a video of you walking around a tree with a saw in your hand, but I didn't see you cutting a tree.
Wow.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Okay, here's a little secret. I didn't want to do any videos of me cutting while I was on the ladder. But I tried anyway because and here's the deal. I
wait, it's a deal, not the thing.
Yeah,
the deal.
Here's the deal. I was on the ladder with my chainsaw. I have a metal ladder, and the chainsaw got stuck in the branch. I only had one free hand on the chainsaw. The other hand is on my camera, and the chainsaw gets stuck. Now I'm working, and it finally gets free, and it's still running. In order for me to get it to stop, I have to let go. If I let go, I'll drop the chainsaw, which means it could break. I don't want to break my chainsaw, so I won't. So it's still running, and it starts cutting into the ladder.
Why wouldn't you just prop the phone up somewhere?
There's no place to prop it. I've already cut those branches off. I already cut off the branches on the right side. There was no place to set it.
Don't be such a judgmental fuck with the propping up of the phone stuff. The phone, it's not. You don't always have a phone rig, or what do they call it?
Yeah, I was 20 feet. I was 15. I was like
gimbal.
12 feet in the air. I was 12 feet in the air, and I didn't have any place
Give
to
the guy a break.
Yeah,
he fucking put a chainsaw with one hand,
and my chainsaw
being critical about his gimbal.
And my chainsaw starts cutting into the ladder, and I'm like, fuck. And so I finally let go because I said I couldn't have that moment where I couldn't have that moment like a cartoon where you cut yourself out of the ladder, cut yourself down with the chainsaw.
Why I emphasize with this story is because I have cut my dick off with the chainsaw, doing exactly that a couple of times.
You need to leave the power tools away from your dick, Matt, between the drills and the chainsaws.
2 weeks. They should put that on the label. Shouldn't they put that on the label then? Keep away from dick.
No, because it doesn't say it. It says keep away from fingers and toes. That's what it says.
You don't want me,
motherfucker.
That's right. You don't want me having any power tools, and this is not just a convenient excuse for me faking incompetence. This is because I don't want to do the work. I'm not good with power. Somebody's going to get hurt. Do not give me a chainsaw under any circumstances, because somebody, probably be me, but it could be an innocent bystander. No power tools for that.
I had an electric chainsaw that was electric, like with a cord. Not with the chainsaw now has battery. Is a battery chainsaw. I used to have a gas chainsaw and one with a power cord. I lent it to my neighbor and my extension cord, and he wound up cutting the extension cord with the chainsaw.
I remember being your neighbor.
And he called me. He goes, I don't know what happened. He goes, I don't know what happened. The chainsaw doesn't work anymore. And so I'm going over and I see the cord. I said, you cut the power cord, and it's still plugged in. So there's like live wire just hanging in the grass.
I don't know what happened, but the cord got, and I got a buzz like you wouldn't believe.
He cut the power cord. A lot of that comes.
And also, I am now I'm magnetic. I'm for some reason I don't know.
Magnificent, Mind Dog the Magnificent.
That's right. Thank you very much.
I repaired the power cord. That was the only extension cord I had at the time.
Is everybody ready for the Mind Dog the Magnificent show? Start the clock. That was Dave.
That's the introduction to the Bill Maher show. Did you see Cheech and Chong on Bill Maher?
Bill Maher? Who's that? I never heard of him. Is he somebody? Bill Maher?
No, I'm talking about Cheech and Chong, though. They were on Bill Maher.
Oh, wow.
They're promoting their new movie.
Oh, yeah, they got like a documentary or something coming out, right?
Yeah.
And Chong's, I like Tommy. I love Tommy. He's a good guy, but he's handpicked to the extreme where I would never listen. If your wife wants to get in on your act, the answer is no. Okay, if you want to be, go out and do your own act. Don't glom onto Cheech and Chong, which has been part of the American experience since the 1960s.
Part of the American lexicon forever.
Exactly. Thank you. He's cute.
Well, I'm only upset because, I was kind of hoping I'd had the last interview with him. Not that I wanted him to die, But I just want him to stop doing interviews. No. I probably have the longest interview with him. I have a 4-hour interview with him. So I may have the longest interview.
So you were trying to kill him right there on the spot.
When he dies, though, you
it's not my fault, Matt. Matt, and you know you don't get to Tommy Chong directly. You go through his people, and his people got back to me and said, "Look, he only has a half an hour, and this is your half an hour." And I said, "Okay, cool."
I've already heard this story.
I've
already heard this story.
Oh, I was just saying he just kept going and kept going. Sorry. Ibit.
Why is Steven laughing? Somebody tickling his ass? What's going on with Steven?
Ibit.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're done. Are we done? I don't know. It's just this has been a week of no shows. If next week is like this, I was hoping to make it to 1,000 shows before I fucking pull the plug on this thing. But I can't. Daily no shows. I'm not angry at these dudes, but it's like, I'll get somebody who wants to be here. Why do you sign up for shit and then not show up? Now they all want to blame it on, I didn't get the email. Well, you got several attempts at the email. Check your fucking spam folder. You know when you put something on the calendar that you get, and they have to accept. So when they sign up for Calendly, they put their information in it. They get an automatic email back where they accept the invitation, right? And I see that they accepted the invitation. When that happens, put it on your personal calendar, and then you got the information right back there that you can refer to. I always put the link directly in Calendly. They can go back there and find it.
And even if it goes to spam, you can move the folder so that it's in your regular inbox or personal folder, so you have access to it, so you don't have to go looking for it again.
Right? Yeah, that's not an excuse. That the spam shit is not an excuse anymore.
I didn't.
I think I don't know if these are friends of yours, but we got a bunch of comedians signing up yesterday. Did you guys, any of you guys, put out something like to tell people to sign up?
Now, I don't know.
What are the names?
Let me see. It depends on the names. And one of them wouldn't be a friend of mine. I know, for example, I'm not going to mention anybody's name because I don't want to embarrass them. But John Beavers has a show on June 14th, and it's a Pride show. And the headliner of that show should be reaching out, or at least has the link to reach out to book on the show. But I'm not putting that out there yet because I told John I wouldn't promote that show until Monday.
TikTok, motherfucker. Not that I'm judgmental. We love all the
you are judgmental.
LGBTQ. We love all the LGBTQ A plus the XPT.
The alphabet people.
Yeah, but it's why is John like I know the pride thing is and the LGBT is a big thing for him. Is he a gay man?
No, but he's just he's an ally.
That's just kind of an odd thing to me.
Being an ally?
No?
I think it's I feel like it's especially in comedy, it's more of a common thing. Like it's just a safe space for everyone to come out and do their thing.
Yeah, but he seems to be an advocate for it, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know if you know this, but there's nothing wrong. I'm not. But
yeah, you blow dudes in Ace parking lots. You're not that judgmental.
That's right. But I don't see a lot of straight heterosexual men. Now Ron will say everybody's bisexual, so maybe that's true. But I don't see a lot of like very straight people coming out as like accepting for it, and maybe will argue for it. But I know because somewhere in his bio,
totally advocate for chicks making out.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. There is one prominent gay comedian who books shows in the area, and he is sort of almost like a Nazi. It's almost like you have to. He's almost like a Nazi. He's like a gay Nazi in the sense the way he runs the shows, the rules that he puts on the comedians.
I think gay Nazi is
oxymoron.
Redundant.
Redundant. Oh,
I'm saying because he puts such restrictions on his shows of what you can and can't say, but they can talk about all kinds of crazy, shit. That's I guess gay and bi specific in particular, but if you can't,
I
And the thing is, I used to really like him a lot. I thought he was like one of the more beloved comedians in the area for the longest time. Now he's just like a pain in the ass. He got too full of himself.
Yeah.
And instead of having someone else fill him.
I'm so unsure of myself. I'm unsure. Okay, that's the show for you. With no guests, Ron. Thanks for coming on Friday. You're off on Fridays, which is good. That's nice. You work a 4-day, or do you work Sunday? Or you work a 4-day week? How do I get a job? I want to work 4 days.
No, I don't work Sundays.
And get paid the $70,000 to start for an entry level.
Now, Ron, get this. Steven gets 2 days off a week, but they're like 5 days. They're like 5 days apart. He doesn't get 2 days in a row off. Is that like fucking ridiculous or what? I mean, that's stupid, right? That's stupid. You need a weekend, even if your weekend's in the middle of the week. You need a weekend, right?
Retail, baby.
Tell him he's stupid. Tell me
I prefer a weekend in the middle of the week, like having Wednesday and Thursday off, or Tuesday and Wednesday off. Is
I want Saturday, Sunday off so bad.
No. Saturday and Sunday is where everybody.
That's when all my friends are off, so I can go fishing and stuff.
You have friends. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, retail in general is just bad because all stores are still just short people, and I'm sure it's the same at Verizon. You're probably short-staffed as well.
We're not short-staffed. We're actually open more days than we should be. We shouldn't be open Sundays. We get no customers after 5 p.m. because we live in a small fucking Trump city that's everyone, in Amish. So nobody does anything on Sundays. Nobody except for go to the liquor store.
I thought this was
maybe y'all should sell liquor on Sundays then. Y'all should sell liquor. Give away liquor with your phone on Sunday. Buy a phone, get some liquor.
Ron, what's the late? Have you heard from Josh DeWay in his West Coast thing? How's he doing out there?
He's doing good. Yeah, I talk to him almost every day, and yeah, he's doing good. There's some stuff cooking. We'll see what happens.
Now, when Ron says he's doing good, you realize that Ron has a scale of doing good, doing great,
not
okay,
bad,
not bad, right? So when Ron says he's doing good, that means he hasn't slit his wrist yet.
Well, I thought coming from Ron, doing good is like killing it, because
he said like
generally a good
special
review from Ron is not that bad. Not that bad is like a rave, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the latest movie from so-and-so? It's not that bad, which means it's a great movie. Go see it.
Yeah, so when Ron says he's doing good, then he's probably got a Netflix special he just locked it down.
Yeah, I think he's doing his first show tonight in LA since moving there. So
yeah, one of the guests we had lined up, I think, in the future has his claim to fame, or what he's got in his bio, is that he's played all the, I forget the way he put it, but like the dinosaur rooms that were important to everybody else, like Laugh Factory and whatever,
the Cum Bucket in Minnesota, stuff like that. Yeah,
the Cum Bucket in Minnesota.
I don't know. He just named he named 3 places: one in Minnesota, one in Ontario, one in the UK.
The Giggle Snatch, yeah. Nobody ever plays the Giggle Snatch anymore. It's dead.
Once
we played it,
I think they would get more customers if they just cleaned up the snatch smell. It's the snatch smell that when you walk in, it's kind of like working in a fishery.
Hey, are we ever getting our video footage from the Giggle Room?
No.
No, I tell you what. Okay, I will work on it, Ron.
It's in my Dropbox. You can download it from there. The raw footage. I haven't edited it.
Also, I need your guys' addresses sent to me so John Beavers can send us Slaptail Nation mugs.
Oh. You already have my address. You have my address.
And you should have my address also, right? Because I sent you a thing that you don't use anymore.
I haven't been on stage since then.
I'm sorry. Even when you were on stage, you didn't use it. That's okay. It breaks my heart. I went through all that trouble of making. I'm gonna tell you.
What did you make for him? Wait,
I've used it.
Hold on. What did you make for him? Like a sign or something? What did you make? What'd you do? What did you make for him?
He made me a wheelchair mountable mic holder.
Oh, that was awfully nice of him.
Yes, and I've used it. Thank you.
Really? How come I don't have any pictures of you using it? Because I said use it.
Because I haven't performed. I've performed once since we were in New York.
So you're a has-been.
Sure. I'm a going to be.
So basically, what you're saying is the giggle room was the nail in the coffin of your career.
No, it was a glancing blow at best. I mean, there was what, 4 people in the audience.
Wow. Listen, you were like like some heckler in the dark in the corner there, without even any light.
No, that was you.
No. I was sitting next to Ron's wife. Don't you dare ever say that with me. You were.
I don't know. That's even creepier.
And I wasn't supposed to be on stage. I'm just saying this was your stage time. You're like sitting in the dark corner there, like mumbling some jokes, like some pervert.
Well, no, he wasn't. Now, in all fairness, he was not in the dark because Ron. I
had a spotlight.
Yeah, Ron put a light on him.
I don't know. In the video, it certainly looks like.
I'm
not going there. I'm not going over there. That guy's gonna fucking jerk me off.
That sounds like a reason to.
Regardless if I was on stage or not, that's always a possibility.
I think. Oh, that's always a possibility. You're always gonna.
I mean, if we're in a quarter, it's quiet. Who knows?
Tony Walker was very good on that show. I did watch some of the footage.
I almost had to catch him when he almost fell off stage, but
see, here's the deal. Oops, sorry, I owe you a nickel. I thought one of the things was supposed to get pristine audio, like microphone audio, like board audio. None of the angles has any of that, so it's all like room audio. There's no. Oh, by the way, I think I'm supposed to do that funeral today. I forgot about that.
Oh, you're doing it? Oh, you're videotaping that funeral?
Live streaming it, and I have to put a lavalier mic on a priest, which is a little. Hey! Oh,
better hope he's wearing underwear.
I'm no altar boy.
Hey, yo!
But I've done that for weddings. I've put lavaliers on ministers for weddings.
Yeah, but not for funerals.
A minister is one thing, and we're talking about a Catholic priest, where no anus is safe.
Yeah, you're gonna go up to put it on. You're gonna smell from under cheese on his face.
Go put him on a clip on the thing, and all of a sudden he's gonna grab my
bring
hand.
Up. Hey, Matt, bring your wife to put the mic on him because he won't touch her.
I don't.
He won't touch Matt either. Matt is too old.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that once you get so old, you kind of start reverting backwards a little bit. Like maybe once he sees the diaper, he'll be like, "Yeah."
Do we have a couple
Matt
minutes?
goes around showing his diaper.
I want to bring up a subject. Can I bring up a subject?
Sure.
I got to leave in 2 minutes, so hurry up.
I know. So back in the day, the wedding industry here was kind of people got married as kind of like a pyramid scheme. I don't know. You would get the hall, you'd spend money, but you get help from the bride's father and all that stuff, and then you'd make all its money back into gifts, and that it was like a starting package, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that still holds true. But now when people get married for the second time, they want that all over again. Like I feel like you only get one of those, right? But now I have somebody in my life who's doing a third one. And they're not just going and they're throwing this big formal wedding where you're supposed to get the kids and all. But not just that, going back through the bachelor party and bridal shower and engagement party. It's your third fucking time. When does this end? This fucking grift of the marriage stuff.
Okay, now this is again. I'm just being a devil's advocate. I'm just being a devil's advocate. Just because they're getting married for the third time doesn't mean that they had 2 previous bachelor parties. I don't know. If they didn't have a bachelor party in either one of those 2, they may be thinking, okay, this is my last chance. This is my last chance to have a bachelor party.
To be fair, only one of the parties is their third marriage. The other person in it is their first marriage.
Well, that's probably why then. It's probably the glitz and glam for the first timer still.
I don't think you get to do that. If you're marrying somebody who's already married and divorced twice.
I don't disagree though. Yeah, I don't disagree. Because like I didn't have a bachelor party at my first marriage was at a courthouse. So the second one was a little more formal and a little more ceremonious, and we did all the stuff, right? And that was fun. Like if I ever get married again, I'm not doing any of that bullshit.
You better never get married.
Say that now. Don't
think about getting married again. I will come there and I will.
I'm not getting married again.
If anybody has any reason why these two should, he's been married twice before and he failed at both of them.
Yeah, right. I know. Exactly. I know. Yeah. I don't want that.
You heard the one about the two bulls?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
I know.
Well, these two bulls are sitting on a grassy knoll overlooking a herd of Guernseys. And the baby bull says, "Hey, Pop, let's run down and fuck one of those cows." But the papa bull says, "No, son. Let's walk down. Fuck them all."
Amen.
Is there a punchline?
No, but that's kind of how I'm going to live my life from now on.
All right, fuck them all. All right, we'll end this show here. I
gotta get out of here
because that's been bothering me for a couple of weeks. How many fucking times do I have to come up with a wedding? Sorry. Obviously, I'm not right. I'm not right in a lot of ways. And my mouth isn't right either. All right, well, we're going to end here. You guys have a great weekend. Have fun at Fratelli's tonight. Ron is the only one working here. Not me. Actually, I'm doing paint parties up the wazoo. I mentioned my wazoo before, but you guys are just non-working. You can't even call yourselves comedians anymore.
As soon as I get a car, I'll be back on stage.
Yeah, as soon as I get a fucking sense of humor, I'll be able to fucking laugh.
That's funny.
All right, that is funny. All right, see you later. Don't forget to turn on your radio. Bye for now.
Finish inside me. Finish inside me.
Truth is, I'm right about all of it, and you know it.
爸爸惩罚我。
Mannequin pussy.
Fuck yeah!
listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen